What's up, y'all?
Hey, everyone.
Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. My name is Matt,
I'm Shannon.
and we are here at Bat City Comic Professionals on Austin's East Side, Austin's only East Side comic book store. We are talking about the hottest releases this week.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that's going on. A lot of great indie number ones came out this week that we want to talk about.
I'm so excited about that.
I know.
I can't even finish my post because I'm so excited.
I know. Shannon is getting the stream shared so that you guys can comment and we can see your comments and things like that. Glad to see some of you guys tuning in already. Welcome. Again, we're Bat City Comic Professionals, Austin's only East Side comic book store. We also do CGC here and pressing and cleaning and comic restoration services.
We are also a nonprofit that is focused on education, literacy specifically, and writing skills. So some of the great and wonderful things that we have done in the past that we are working towards even bigger and better versions in the future are workshops teaching kids all the way from kindergarten up to college how to write comic books using the skills that they learn in classes about reading and writing to kind of tell their story. And then we are doing some awesome worksheets. We are hoping to develop some even more exciting and fun workshops that are going to have to do with development of ourselves from comic books and the things that we can get out of that. We talk about it a lot, the view outside of our window and the view outside of somebody else's window and all of the way that comics give us that. And so we're going to be hopefully developing some really cool workshops that have to do with that. So I'm really excited about those things. Plus, we give away scholarships to people who are pursuing a degree in some form of arts or literacy education. And I guess now's as good a time as any. Should I say it now? Should I save it for the news?
Could probably save it for the news.
We'll save it for the news. So
should probably have a picture to go along with it.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about putting a picture in the live stream thing.
Right.
That we'll work on that.
Right.
I guess while I'm talking, you can.
We'll have to do a
We'll
thing.
have to do a thing.
Absolutely. But yeah. Thanks for joining us. A lot of cool titles came out this week. I totally just said that with my mouth covered. A lot of cool titles came out this week.
And
oh, that's nice.
It's a nice wine.
It's a nice wine. We are drinking Love Noir tonight. This is their satin red because we like nice red bottles of wine and things like that.
And pretty designs on them.
And pretty designs on the bottle. It's a nice little bottle thing. Oh,
there goes your shot. Can't do
that's
that.
That's fine.
Well, it was fun.
It was fun while it lasted.
I have to call out. Goma said, "Hey guys," and Nigel says, "Howdy, fellow Darkhawk and Sleepwalker aficionados."
Oh, that's true. We could have brought Darkhawks out for key issues because that's popular.
Right. Yes.
That's popular.
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about some comics? You want to do some giveaways?
We might as well do a giveaway. How about that?
Right.
Huh? How about we give you guys something?
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Woo!
Whoop whoop! What? I'm gonna start with. Oh, and I think it had a thing to go with it, but we'll save that for later. I'm gonna start with this. This is one of the characters that Marvel came out with recently during, I believe it was this summer, and we are talking a lot this week about Marvel voices and Marvel indigenous voices and Marvel kind of mixing it up and giving us new characters. And this was Arrow, and it was a very like anime-based, Japanese-based story. And so anyway, this poster is going to be yours for free if you can answer. I'm trying to think of a question that. Oh, my pen just died on me. Okay, answer your question for us. And the first question of the night is: in which issue did Marvel character Echo first appear? So what is Marvel's character Echo's first appearance? If you know that, you get this poster, which is really actually super cool.
Gorgeous poster.
Yeah, I really like the artwork, and I actually should have looked it up because I don't know who the artist on Arrow was, but the art was always really, really extraordinary, and it was such a new and exciting like story. And we talk about a lot. One of the other things is that people are always saying, why don't they create new characters? Why don't they give us stories of characters we don't know about? And this was one of the stories that they tried to do just that with, and we didn't see enough of this new character. Yes, Nigel. Daredevil #9. Now that is not the original Daredevil #9. Just
right.
To be fair, Echo first appeared in Daredevil #9 in the 1999 series.
Is that Brian Michael Bendis?
No, it was somebody else, I believe.
Somebody else.
Yeah, that's my
Give it up
extent
for
of that.
somebody else.
Yeah, great to go. Anyway, Nigel, that Arrow poster is coming your way. If you didn't check out the series, you should, and let us know how it was. It was right after Kevin Smith's run, is what Nigel said.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah. All right. So you
Funny zoom here.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on the Bat
Hope you
City
guys
logo.
enjoyed that zoom real quick. I'm playing with new camera techniques, obviously. So, you know.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, playing with the new camera stuff. It's gonna be a completely ridiculous live stream.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
But it usually is. David Mack wrote it. Thank you, Nigel. Speaking of Nigel, I do want to throw a shout out to Nigel really fast while we're starting. Last week, we mentioned that we didn't, in our personal collection, we didn't have a copy of Tomahawk.
Right.
Or you mentioned that, I guess I should say. So Nigel, being the most amazing, wonderful human that he is, actually sent us this beautiful, gorgeous copy of A Tomahawk by Donny Cates and Ian Betterman.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. And my favorite part is actually that Nigel
just got a
typewriter and actually typed a letter to us on his typewriter. I'm not going to read it all to you, but I do love the part where it says that typewriters are hard. So I told him he needs to write a letter on his typewriter to Tom Hanks and tell him what kind he's using, because Tom Hanks loves to get typewriter letters from people and will write them back. So
probably with his typewriter.
With his typewriter, because he collects typewriters. So it's a huge thing for Tom Hanks. But yeah, so thank you, Nigel, for the letter. If you guys want a pen pal,
thanks, man. Right.
Nigel said he's going to single-handedly bring back letter writing. So I think he actually needs a partner in that. So if you like letter writing and want a pen pal,
right,
hit up Nigel in the comments. I'm sure he'll be happy to converse via snail mail with you.
But you have to use a typewriter.
You don't. I think he would take handwritten. But if you have a typewriter, it would be interesting to see the communications between you.
Even better.
Yes.
Well, thanks again, man.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, Nigel.
We got some picks of the week.
Yes.
That we're going to talk about.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to do my number ones last, because I'm going to fangirl all over the place with all those number ones that came out this week. So that's also a number one, just not indie. So I'm going to start with Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists. This is number 3 of this.
Right.
So when we read number one, or when I read number one, I talked about number one on here with you guys. I was like, I have no idea what this is. It's like kind of like 30 Days a Night. The guy gets thrown in jail and there's monsters and you think they're vampires. So vampires was like the first of our problem in this series. So it is about a small town. A guy wanders.
It's not about Atlantis.
It's not about Atlantis. However, it does connect there better now after issue 3, and I'm not going to spoil any of that for you.
But it's not. If you're expecting an underwater story, this is not underwater.
No, oh, the cat did tear my shirt, I think. No, that's something else. Anyway, random story. So, Atlantis wasn't built for tourists. No, it does not take place underwater. It is actually about a small town, and this guy is doing a cross-country, like, walking trip, trying to get to Seattle, and he's saying he wants to get to his family in Seattle, and he stops in this town, and it ends up there's something mysterious going on in this town, and of course we've now since talked about how we know that this is kind of a vampire related story. However, that is not our only monsterific problem, and we know that there's something like there's so much underhanded and backhanded and stuff going on in this town, and it might take a monster to defeat a monster is basically where that's going. But it's Scout Comics, which is another one of those publishers that nobody really talks about a lot. And it started kind of like, it was pretty good on issue 1, and it just gets better every issue. And a lot of times, like, we talk about, like, oh, you know, it kind of falls off around issue 3. I always say I read 3 issues of a comic to decide if we're going to keep carrying it on the wall or if I want to keep going. And this one, I was like, okay, issue 3, you've completely sold me. We've gone in another direction. It's so good. I want to see where this goes. And it does still have kind of that 30 Days of Night feel, but also it's almost like 30 Days of Night and That Texas Blood and Miskatonic, if you want to put 3 books going on together. Like, it's all of that in one story. So it's really, really good. And I was surprised at how fast it, like, escalated into a story that I enjoyed.
It's cool art. The art is by Wendell Cavalcanti.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks a lot like the Jughead the Hunger art.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It's not the same artist, but cool
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, check it out. We
Cool
do
book.
have issues 1, 2, and 3, I believe, in stock. We might even have second prints of #1. So, if you haven't checked it out, again, give Scout some love because these small presses are really killing it right now. If you're only reading the big two, that's fine if that's what you're into. Um, but there is an entire world out there beyond that, and right now it's really, really, really strong.
Right.
I think this is probably one of the, aside from the image boom of
Yeah.
the 90s, this is probably the boom of indie in general.
Right.
Like, we're.
Well, Scout's putting out amazing material.
Right.
Vault is putting out amazing material.
Absolutely.
We're really showing a lot of Antarctic press on here that we really
Yeah.
and Aftershock.
Aftershock.
Aftershock stuff is amazing. And another one, and you guys can play a drinking game with us, is AWA Upshot, who actually launched their brand. It's AWA Studios, who have been around for a minute, but Upshot has a smaller imprint of AWA, which is Artists, Writers, and Artisans. That imprint, every single time that we mention it, take a drink if you're sitting there drinking at home. So AWA Upshot
Right. If you are also
has his next book.
Or if you are also winding down your weekends,
right?
As
Absolutely.
we say, then get ready because we've got Bad Mother #4, and we have talked about this book before on this live stream because it is amazing, and we will never stop talking about this book. This book is so good because you need to flip to the end to make sure you don't spoil anything.
I just want to make sure I know where
right
we are.
where we stop. So, issue 4, overview of the series is this is the story of a suburban mom
so
whose daughter has gone missing, and she suspects human trafficking, that her daughter has been like stolen by human traffickers. And this is a plain old suburban mom. She doesn't have the backfield. Usually they always make it like, oh, she was special forces in the military, or oh, she was doing this before. Like, no, this is just regular old, like, I'm out of shape, my kids are my life, I don't really, like, I don't even have time to meet my girlfriends for coffee, like, I don't know what's going on, please just text me back kind of mom. And her daughter goes missing, and she's like, well, the police won't do anything about it, and so she's like, well, you don't mess with the mom.
Right. I love this panel here actually where she's on the computer researching it and she's figuring out information. So we're on issue 4. We do have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in stock.
I believe so.
It's awesome. Don't trade weight because AWA Upshot sent us a sent us a promo package for retailers, and I was able to read issues 1 through 5. So I do know how this story ends. It's amazing.
And I said I was going to wait for you guys to be able to read it too. So I'm reading it along with the
Exactly. So I know stuff that Shannon doesn't know about this one, and it is totally worth it. It's totally worth it. It's super cool. This one sets up the climax. That's for sure, obviously, because there's only one issue left.
Potentially may go into a volume 2.
Yes.
It's an AWA title, so that's possible.
If you guys don't know, AWA is doing these short runs of stories where basically each arc is the volume 1 of their books. So like this is a 1 of 5. This is number 4 of 5 issues. And then after 5 issues, they end the thing, and then they come back a couple of months later with volume 2, and it continues the story. But it's kind of the next arc. So rather than, getting caught up in 38 issues, like you don't want to come into a comic on 38 issues. We know it's extremely hard getting into comics ourselves. When we did, it was difficult to say, okay, can I enter on Superman on issue 20? I don't know. Where are we in this storyline? Do I have to read everything in the back? Do I have to get trades and catch up? The nice thing about this imprint of AWA is that you're able to just read 4 or 5 issues at a time. You follow along with that thing, and 4 issues in, you're not actually that far into a story, know. And even being 5, if you do want to trade weight, you can. Don't for this one.
Yeah.
Bad Mother is awesome, and she is a badass.
Yeah.
She is a badass.
Yeah.
I don't even want to reveal too much because we're so far into this one. They do this cool thing. I guess I can show this.
I like the paneling.
It's just her beating somebody up. But yeah, there is paneling where everything is kind of lined off, which makes you look at the details. In one panel, that has multiple lines through it. It makes you look at all the little details. It like forces you to look.
Yeah.
And a lot of the AWA upshot titles do that. It is extremely what seeing ads for other stuff that I'm really interested in. Um, yeah, this it's just so awesome. The art's so great.
Yeah.
This is one of our top 10 of the year. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And Dustin said that Bad Mother is epic, and Juan says it's been consistently good. Upshot hasn't done me wrong yet. Word. So true.
Word,
So true.
word. Even their weakest title for us has been Old Haunts, which has kind of been a Godfather esque thing,
Yeah.
except the mafia guys in it are kind of being haunted by demons
Their
from their
own
past, their own
demons, yeah.
demons, and even that's really good.
Right.
Like it's not my favorite because the other ones are still better.
Right. When you're the weakest of the greatest,
exactly
it's not that bad.
exactly. It's still way better than most of the stuff that's out there.
Yes. Um.
So
I'm gonna shout out since Juan's on here. Amazing job on your Silver Surfer Black one. You should definitely, once again, as always, please share links to your work where people can buy your T-shirts because it is amazing and extraordinary.
so
please,
cool.
Please share that.
That's my favorite piece you've done yet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So amazing.
So super cool.
And
it's pro.
It is so pro.
It's so pro.
That was like a freaking comic cover. To
yeah,
drop that
absolutely.
link in
like,
there.
So I thought you were sharing a comic cover.
Right. Like,
like what? Wait, you did that?
Right. Like watch out, Tradmore.
Right. Right. Super cool.
And
yet Juan was trying to mimic Tradmore's style and ends up coming up with a style of his own.
Yes. And
doing
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm gonna shout out to you is stick around because like there's a lot of X-Men questions and a lot of X-Men comic talk to come.
Right, and everybody, I guess you're setting them all up, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this in there. Yeah.
Give Chango ATX a follow.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna shout out this really fast, and this is really big for me. You guys know that I am not a Steve Orlando fan, but I am going to tell you that issue 2 of Commanders in Crisis is out, and this is actually an interesting concept. And this is my thing with Steve Orlando is I think he has interesting concepts, and whether or not they get fully executed well is another story, and we'll see. Because this is an Image title, how on his own, without being like mandated by anybody, if Steve Orlando fulfills his premise. But it's a multiverse. All the other worlds in a multiverse have been destroyed, and they saved the president that was like the minority representing president of America was saved from each of those. So like the first LGBTQ president, the first woman president, the first woman of color president. Like they saved all of these minority presidents and brought them to the one Earth that still remains to try to save it. And they all gained superpowers when they were brought through from their planet to through the portal into this new planet. They were all given superpowers, and so now all of these like presidents have powers. And in issue 1, we kind of get a setup of who each one is, and he kind of does like the trading card thing to give us each a moment of like this is this person and this is this person, and they're all really cool powers we don't really see a lot. Like there's a guy that has X-ray vision eyes, and he was a medic, and so he actually can like there's a scene in this issue where somebody gets hurt, and he goes up to him and he's like, the guy's like, I think I'm having a heart attack. He's like, you're not having a heart attack, but hang on. And he like stabs him in the chest. He was like, this is definitely gonna hurt. And he's like, sorry, you had a punctured lung. I just saved your life. And he's like, how did you know that? And he's like, I can see. So it was such an interesting. They're all interesting powers. I love the girl who has the ability to. She can kind of trace anything and see anything, and she has this like quantum moment experience. Basically, it's really well done the way she does it. But in issue 1, to kind of give you the setup of where we're going. This, like I said, it's this last Earth. It's the last chance to not have humanity destroyed by its own evilness, and somebody manages to kill empathy. Literally kill empathy in issue 1. And so now they're like, what are we going to do? This world is going to fall apart. So it's such an interesting concept, and it's got new powers that we don't really see with characters before, and it's all these minority presidents from America throughout time, and there's all this stuff going on, and like America's trying to separate, like each state will be its own thing, but then they'll also like there'll be the ununited states of America essentially, and so it's like this is the start of the downfall. So it's actually a really good premise, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Um, let's see. Juan says he recommends this book. It's new but also familiar, and it's totally true. Like Steve Orlando said, it's kind of like a crossover event, but in a book you've never heard of.
It feels like a concept that was made to launch through DC when Steve Orlando was there. And as we all know, DC has been going through changes, and that didn't get released. It's especially strange because Image doesn't release a lot of superhero stuff. They put out some here and there, but not really.
This was 100%, if I had to guess, meant to be at DC because issue 1 has a love letter to this story from Dan DiDio, where
Right.
it says former CEO or whatever
Of
of
DC
DC Comics.
Comics.
And so this was definitely originally meant to be a DC book that did not get approved. And Steve Orlando was like, "Well, I'm going to take it." And Dan was like, "Dude, take it. Just go. I'll
Right.
recommend you
Absolutely.
everywhere."
Yeah. And then you own the rights to these
Yeah.
characters rather than DC owning the rights to the
Yeah.
characters. It says on the back, we don't answer to a flag, not anymore. We answer to the people in danger, which is cool.
It's
Like
actually it's got
like
a
that a
lot
lot.
of good one-liners about being about the people and not about like a party
Yeah.
or about a country, but being about the humans and how you need to support them.
Right, and that's great. That's
Yeah.
great, and that's very different from the other Steve Orlando that I have read
Yes.
personally.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that.
I am too. Uh, really.
Yeah.
Quickly, Big Girls number 4 is out. I've talked about this one on the live stream before, so I'm not going to go super far into
Big Girls
it.
is sweet.
Super
It's
sweet.
kaiju women.
Kaiju women fighting monster boys. Basically, both boys and girls have a gigantic gene that sometimes flares up with them, and boys become monsters that are all called Jacks. And the big girls have to come and stop them. And we're starting to see, we don't know whose side is right and whose side is wrong, but we definitely know that there's more going on in this story than we have any idea about. It's great. It's Jason Howard writing and doing the art on it, and he's doing and actually my favorite thing that Jason is doing isn't even the story itself, but in the letters column, Jason always recommends books that he's enjoying and then asks you to write in with books that you're enjoying to share.
That's fun.
And so it's actually really cool because there's other like comic recs in there from one creator, like here are some books I enjoyed and things like that. So
Sorry, I just want to show some of the art here. I know a lot of you guys, you like the concept of the story, and then you're like, oh, I don't really like the art in it, or vice versa. And so it's always good to show some of it. I do like this back image. If there was a sign, like a plastic sign of that, or a metallic print sign,
totally put
I
it
would
up.
Yeah, totally put that up for sure. They should make that into a thing.
Right,
We
that
should
needs
tweet
to
it
be
there.
the bathroom sign, like at places now.
Right.
This is for like giant girls with
Giant
guns.
girl
Go to
holding
this
a gun.
bathroom.
Right. Exactly.
There are 2 series that are ending this week. One is like a full ending, so they say, but it also set up a story at the end. So I'm like, I don't know if this is like if you're AWA tricking me. But Dead Day number 5 is out.
Do you drink for that AWA?
And
This is one of those aftershock books we were talking about.
yes, and they this book is all about, it's like The Purge meets a zombie story because this is the story of a day where people can come back to life who are dead. They are reanimated corpses. But they can also fulfill things. So some people come back for vengeance, some people come back to spend time with their loved ones, some people come back to be zombies and eat people, but the government has like a check-in and check-out point. It's really ridiculously like bureaucratic. This is the story of one particular family uh, and their quest for to help the member of their family who is no longer with them get the vengeance and fulfillment. But we also learn about a cult who believes in like the goddess of the death day, and there's also, as there always is, there's like this militia of people who are like, we will just destroy all the dead who come back. This is unnatural. It's unholy, and like we're here to kill them. And there's a big showdown in this book, so I don't want you to show too much. And it says the end at the end, but I don't believe that it is because again, this issue set up a story that we just started and then left it. So I think that it might be. It's possible that they're gonna do a one people's story is like this is the end, but then they're gonna set up somebody else's dead day story because you could follow a million people just like the purge. You could do this 1,000 times if you wanted to and see different people's stories. So Really curious to see if it really is the end of Dead Day. I hope it's not, because it was actually really good, and I hope it becomes an ongoing of some sort, because 5 issues in and I'm like, wait, no, don't leave me.
Right.
So I
Right.
need to know
One
what's
day a
happening.
year or whatever, every couple of years.
Right, whatever random. There's no
Whatever random day. They
and
all
we
come back.
don't know anything about this goddess yet. This goddess of the death. She like shows up, she gives us a little insight, and then she's like, this isn't the end of this. And yet then you turn the page and it's like the end, and I'm like, but you just told me.
Did you just give us the end?
No.
Okay.
Trust me, that's not.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
So
What?
there's there. Don't worry, guys. Read it. It's good.
That's
We have
issue 5.
right, and we have all 5 issues, and we actually have tons of number 1. I know we've given it away on the live stream before, but I wanted a special Francavilla 1 and 10, so I got one.
Right. Francavilla is awesome.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite books, just ongoing, I love it, is Black Magic by Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott. This is issue 17, 16. What number does that say? 16.
16. And this is of the first series.
And it's been going on for a long time. Actually, it started a while back, and then they had multiple delays between like the first volume of like, trades and the second volume of trade, essentially, and they got put on pause, and then they got put on pause again after the second volume of the trade, and guess what, they're going on pause again. So Nicola Scott's got some big projects apparently coming up, and so Greg Rucka said they're taking a break to give Nicola time to do that. And so it won't be back until next summer at the earliest. I'm very sad about that. But we have volume 1 and volume 2 of the trades in stock, and every issue that has come out. So now is the time for you to catch up on this amazing series about a witch who works as a detective in a local police department. She's kind of using her magic to deal with that, but then there's also like an ancient magical problem going on, and she's like the dark-haired witch. She has a friend who's like a light-haired witch, so we kind of see like maybe there's some light and dark contrast there on purpose. It's got Nicholas Scott's most gorgeous and wonderful art. I love it so much. And they've been doing these stories in the back of this new set since it's come back. And I don't know where the like prose story at the back is going, and I have finally been like, what is gonna happen next on the prose story in the back? Because I've been like, I don't, like sometimes prose story is your thing, sometimes it's not. And this one I've been like, it's not really, it's too kind of Monte Cristo for me. And that finally got to a cliffhanger, and then the next page is Greg Rucka telling us about how they're taking a break. So we're on a lot of cliffhangers at the end of this issue, but you can catch up with volume 1, volume 2 of the trade, and all of the issues that have come out since.
Yeah.
So you use your break wisely. This is the time. It's so good. Speaking of super good, Devil's Red Bride issue 2 is out this week. This is Vault, as we talked about them being amazing recently. This is like if Mulan was as dark as Mulan was meant to be in the original mythology of it. This is the story of a girl whose dad is a samurai warrior. Essentially, he's a very prominent one. He is killed in the battle, and her brother are left to figure out like what to do, and they're like her stepmom, and the brother is obviously destined by birth to take over, but he is really scared, doesn't want to battle. He's like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And she's like, I want to kill people. I need to battle. I need to be in there. And they're like, you can't do that. And so issue 1 kind of the setup of all of that, and like we see that the family name is carried on, and is it him or is it her? And now it's in a few years in the future, and she is known as the Devil's Bride, Red Bride, and she is leading people on a mission, and we're kind of learning backstory about what happened after her dad died as we go along. It's gruesome, it's violent, it's got a badass female samurai, and I have no idea where else it's going, but if you always wished Mulan was made for an adult storytelling audience and full of death, then
and blood, as you can see.
Lots of blood, this is your book.
Blood on every page.
It's really good. It's one of those where you're like, it's one of the ones that when it comes in, I'm like, okay, I gotta read this first and then go from there.
Right. What's up, Quentin Tarantino? Where are you at buying the rights on this?
Seriously. Oh my God. Haven't brought up Engine Ward in a while, but we are on issue 5, and I actually just caught up today.
I thought we were on number 1s this time. These are all number
No,
5s.
I've still got number
Oh,
ones.
my
I'm
goodness.
going through it as fast as I can to get to the number ones. Issue 5 of Engine Ward. This is the story of its future world, future Earth, and everything's bad. We have no water, we have no food, we have nothing, and we have a panel of people who are gods, based off of the zodiac signs. And it's actually really hilarious to me because in this one, like, Virgo is like, I've got this. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to handle it. And then she goes and was like, you have to do this and you have to do this. And they're like, why do we have to do it? And she's like, because I need everybody to think I look good. And I need you to be good at what you're doing and then give me the credit for it. And she's talking to, like, Gemini, and Gemini's like, why would we do that? And she's like, because I'd owe you one, I guess.
Sounds
And
like
so,
Virgos.
It's very much like if you know, like, your zodiac signs and your people, there's all these, like, in jokes for all of the personality types of the zodiac. But at the same time, there's a story of a ragtag group of people who are trying to figure out, who have found a clue that might lead to A, the fact that the gods are not really who they say they are, and B, the way to save the earth. And so they're on this mission trying to do that, and they're being chased down by the gods who don't want that information to come out.
Cool.
It's a really cool story.
They all have, the cover A's are all these wraparound covers too.
And the cover B's are all highlights of a god.
Cool.
So they're all themed to the zodiac gods, which is really super cool too. And we have issues 1 through 5 in stock. And I kind of took a break from it for a minute because I wasn't sure if it was my thing, and I just went back and read it all at once, and I was like, oh man, somebody needs to just get this and read 1 through 5, because as, like, a complete 1 through 5, it's so solid. It's such a good story. And I was like, this was really good, and I forgot where it was going, and now I'm glad that I went back and caught up because it was really good.
Sweet.
Here's your drinking game of the night one more time. AWA Upshot with another title out this week. This is Grindle, Kentucky. This is Beowulf in the 70s with a biker gang that grows marijuana in Kentucky. There you go.
It sounds crazy, and then you read it and you're like, oh, this is actually about a biker gang that's based on Beowulf.
Right.
Biker gang that grows marijuana in Kentucky that's based on Beowulf.
Right, and so, of course, the women are badasses because it's based off Beowulf, but there's, again, that cool paneling that AWA does, and so many, like, great shots, and this one is definitely, like, monster fighting, so if you're...
Yeah, and Tommy Lee Wallace does the art on this, and he is a...
motorcyclist?
Tommy Lee Edwards. Tommy Lee Wallace is the guy from the Halloween movies. Tommy Lee Edwards says this. Yeah, he's actually a motorcycle enthusiast, so he enjoys drawing motorcycles. It's a hard thing to draw.
Yes, and he does such a good job with it.
We were talking to Megan Hutchinson about this, and Megan's like, oh my god, I hate drawing motorcycles. There's so many components, and people yell at you if you don't get them right.
Wrong. Yeah. Speaking of Megan Hutchinson, we don't have it in stock yet, but hopefully soon. But issue 21 of Ice Cream Man is out.
Issue 21 of Ice Cream Man is out.
Holy
Ice Cream Man is not one of those books that we can skip talking about. Ever. Ice Cream Man is one of the best titles on the shelf, and has been one of the best titles on the shelf since it dropped.
For 21 issues.
For 21 issues, this is constantly the book.
There's not an issue that I'm like, oh, that one wasn't that great.
No.
I can't think of one that's bad.
No.
It's
like AWA Upshot in in the sense that even the worst ones are still way better than everything else that you're reading. Mm-hmm. And really, the worst issue I think is like issue 3,
the Rockstar one.
4, yeah, like the Rockstar one, 4, which is sad because you buy the first trade and you're like, oh, it's okay, but like it immediately picks back up at 5 and 6, and then is complete fire
forever.
So we talk about Ice Cream Man. We've only given you our review of it and not told you anything actually what it's about. Ice Cream Man is an anthology series, essentially, where each issue is a standalone mini story that kind of deals with existential dread.
Yeah.
And the dread of everything not having meaning.
Yeah.
And being afraid that your life has nothing and that you are going to be nothing. Mm-hmm. And then after you die, there's nothing left.
Right.
So they're always super bleak.
Very much so.
But it's not like the Twilight Zone where things happen that are scary. It's more the psychological horror of it in each issue. And every one is completely different. There's a space story. There's a heroine story.
Yeah.
There is a palindrome, one that starts and then ends, and it's the same thing, and you can read the comic back to front or front to back.
There's a silent issue that's based off of Neapolitan Ice Cream, which is 3 stories told in different
that go across
so
in all yellow, pink, and brown coloring. This is a comic that plays with the format. It's a comic that, again, you can jump in at any issue and just read it like a one-shot. Every single issue is its own one-shot. But then if you are to go back and read them all, you realize... Yes.
And this one deals with that really well. It does both the overarching and the on its own. Like, if I didn't know there was an overarching story, I would not be taken out of this book at all.
No.
Because it stands so well. But as somebody who does know the overarching story, I'm like, oh.
Look at all these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Right, they're almost Easter eggs.
Yeah, so.
And it's really neat. This one is actually a Watchmen homage.
Yes.
Which you don't really get right off the bat, and then you kind of go back and you reread the whole thing in Rorschach voice, and it makes sense. So, yeah, I can't show that.
And the reference to the Megan Hutchinson thing is that Megan did a Watchmen specific store variant
for this issue
at the 616 Comics.
At the 616 Comics. They're sold out at 616 Comics, but we do have copies coming here. Courtesy of 616. Yes. Thank you guys. Shout out to John for hooking us up with those. We do have those coming in, and it's actually the Ice Cream Man sitting on Mars, like Dr. Manhattan, which is super neat. But you can see it's in the 9-panel format like Watchmen. I'm holding this up. It's like, oh, that's a page out of Watchmen right there. And this one is about a detective trying to crack a case of cults.
Very issue 1 of Watchmen, where he's like, I've got to figure out what's going on. This is the situation. This is what's going on. I don't know why they're doing this. This is what's happening. Like, it's very Watchmen-esque in that sense.
Right. And then there is a recurring smiley face, but it's a frowny face.
Right, which you have on the cover with the melted ice cream cone smiley face. So it's supposed to be like the blood smiley face.
Right.
So good.
Which is, it's fun. And again, you don't really get it until you get to this panel that actually says the end is nigh.
Right. I love that whole end is nigh conversation in there. It's so good.
Right. There's multiple things, which I can actually read some of it. It says, why not, the end is nigh. What does that mean, nigh? Near. The end is near. And the end is near. Well, why not just make it simple the first time? That's just how you say it, man. That's how words fit together.
Love it.
And then, of course, the backs are always blackness because everything is nothing.
Everything is nothing.
And you will probably be eaten by bugs.
Right.
Which is another recurring thing.
Yeah.
In all of the Ice Cream Man, there's bugs everywhere. Read Ice Cream Man if you are not. Seriously, if you are reading Big 2 stuff and you don't know where to go next and you at least enjoy horror movies, read Ice Cream Man. Just pick up any issue and just give it a read.
And if you're
come into the shop.
If you're just looking for Watchmen stuff, Rorschach #2 is out this week.
Rorschach's out this week.
This is Tom King doing another one of his Tom King things where he takes a character that we have thoughts and opinions on, and he does a 12-part miniseries on that character. And this is all about Rorschach, or is it?
Right.
But this is another one of those where I was like, oh, I see the connections. Like, we're actually this is all investigating the story of a writer of pirate comics, or an artist, I guess I should say, of pirate comics, which if you read Watchmen, if you've heard Shannon talk about Watchmen, I should say, you know that I think that the pirate comic in Watchmen is one of the most important details of the Watchmen comic, and I will stand on that hill until I die. The pirate comic in Watchmen is such a great commentary on the Comics Code Authority and the impact of comics here and there around that, and the point of Watchmen.
I still have people who come into the shop all the time and they go, I loved reading Watchmen, but I didn't understand the pirate comic in it. It didn't make any sense.
And you're like, don't say that to my wife.
I'm like, that is the key to that comic book. And you get it if you end up reading all the supplemental materials. And they always go, I didn't read those. And it's like, well, if you didn't read the supplemental materials in The Watchmen,
You
you
didn't
read The
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Because you have to read all those stories in the back. And I want to say that on the live stream, in case you guys are watching, if you didn't read the supplemental materials in the back of each issue, you didn't read The Watchmen. And the one on the Black Freighter, which I think is issue 6 or 7, is a lot of it. And if you saw the Watchmen TV series, the one that won 20 plus Emmys,
right,
it's all based in the supplemental material of Watchmen.
Absolutely.
And the before Watchmen series.
And if you go back and if you buy the trade now, actually it comes with a letter from Dave Gibbons, which actually indirectly explains the necessity and the inclusion of the Black Freighter story. But if you are like, hey, I don't want to go back and read that, I just want somebody to tell me why there needs to be this pirate thing in there. I have a TED talk essentially on the Black Freighter in Watchmen and the impact on it in comic books and in that story specifically that you are welcome to join. So if you'd like to come to my TED talk on the Black Freighter in Watchmen, I will be happy to give it to you. But that is here.
One of these nights, like on a Wednesday or something, we'll have to do a live stream.
Of just me ranting.
No, of like where we actually break down Watchmen and discuss it. Because there are now a lot of forms. This is now the third spin-off series if you count Doomsday Clock.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we had before Watchmen, which is a lot of series. Doomsday Clock, and now this. And Death Metal, if you want to talk about that, because there are Watchmen crossovers now in Death Metal, and they're bringing it back. But really, like, standalone kind of a series. We have 3 spin-off series. We have a show.
And
we have a movie. We have a motion comic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Black Freighter mini movie. And there's the, what's the documentary about Watchmen that takes place within the Watchmen universe that came out also. It's included in the Watchmen special features. It's also on DC Universe. Also, if you guys haven't seen it, there is the ultimate cut of the Watchmen where they actually include the Black Freighter movie and where it's supposed to go. Watch that one. It's actually superior probably to the film because you get that Black Freighter sort of stuff. But because of all this, there's a lot of Watchmen universe now. Mm-hmm. And Watchmen is one of those properties that's never going away.
No.
It's going to be around. All of the before Watchmen stuff, a lot of people, it's kind of like the New Mutants movie, where they're like, oh, it got bad reviews, I didn't read it.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, well, the Darwin Cook stuff is amazing. Mm-hmm. The Minutemen stuff all ends up in the show. The Dr. Manhattan backstory ends up in the show. Mm-hmm. And, you know, some of the other things are like take it or leave it, hit or miss here and there. But these are all things that we could actually have a conversation about and discuss in our lives. Yeah. And I think our viewers would be interested in hearing it.
If you want us to do a Watchmen just specific Wednesday night, one day stream,
absolutely,
let us know.
And if you guys are like Watchmen historians and you have read all of this stuff and you are completionists on the Watchmen, hit us up and maybe we'll have you on the show. We can have like a rotating revolving door panel of guests. Yeah, that'd be super cool. But Rorschach, you know, read it. Let us know what you think if you are reading it. It's definitely a weird one right now. I'm wondering where it's gonna go. It's same with like Mr. Miracle when that came out. By issue 2, you're still kind of not sold.
Right, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, Tom King does this thing. We were having a conversation the other day where Tom King plans out his stuff. He plans out all 12 issues, and it's like he really makes his point in issues 10 through 12, mm-hmm. and then kind of has everything else building up to that point, and you're like, okay, where's this going to go? So it's a slow burn of a read, and I think this kind of has that too.
And we talked about this when we had that conversation. Tom King being ex-CIA, and this being so political based thriller, mm-hmm. It's very much like Tom King is unfolding something before us that he is like his mind has been waiting to tell this story. So it's like he's been working, you can feel that he's been working on how to do this from like that mind space for so long that I just wonder how long it's going to be before we do catch what Tom King is trying to say entirely.
Yeah. So before we move on, I want to actually ask you personally. So Rorschach,
yes,
right? This character. There is Watchmen is like Justice League, right? Mm-hmm. The flag Watchmen. Okay, there are a lot of them. Mm-hmm. There are past Watchmen. There's new Watchmen. If you had to write a solo series, Shannon, which character would you pick to write a solo series on?
From the actual Watchmen characters themselves?
I mean, from the whole thing.
I mean, because if you're like, I could do anything, including the like multimedia properties. I mean, it would be Sister Night. Like, I mean,
Right.
Regina King's character is phenomenal.
Right.
But
That's true.
I actually think that
And
Silk,
the Sister Night series should happen.
yeah,
Right.
get on that, DC. But I actually think that Silk Spectre 2 has never been fleshed out well. I know she has a better story in the before, like some stuff in the before
the
Watchmen stuff.
Darwin Cook one.
Right, Darwin Cook, and is that the one he did with Amanda?
Yes, it's Amanda Connor, and
And
Darwin Cook wrote it.
yeah, and so I do think that like they gave her more, but I think that she has zero agency and purpose in the Watchmen story for the majority of the time. So I would love to do more of her stuff, which of course we do see in other places. But I think if I was doing a thing, it would be interesting to see that, or even the first Night Owl.
Yeah. Yeah, First Night Owl is
First Night
cool.
Owl.
First Night Owl's solo story would be really awesome. The Before Watchmen Night Owl is not
It's
the
not in
greatest.
line with the character of Night Owl as much.
It is. It's the Before Watchmen story. There is a part in the Watchmen where Silk Spectre is over at Dan's house, Dan Dryberg's house, and she pulls up a photograph of a dominatrix, and she goes, "Oh, what's this, Dan? Ex-girlfriend of yours?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about that," and he puts it away. And then that's all that's ever said about it. It's that story of him meeting the dominatrix and like receiving his punishment in a sexual way because he's so Boy Scout, because he's like the Superman kind of a character.
And I think that's not the best story for Night Owl. We didn't need that.
No, we didn't. Yeah. But I think people who had the book for 20 years kind of wanted to see what happened with that. And especially because those did come out right around the 20th anniversary sort of thing. Yeah, I don't think that needed to happen. Obviously, I would want to do a Night Owl story because he's my favorite. I think he's a super cool character, and he hasn't gotten much. But I don't think sales would be good on it. No. Like, you guys probably don't want to read a Night Owl story. No. I would. I'd be like, "Ooh, what? Night Owl? That's badass." I have all the variants of number one Before Watchmen and Night Owl.
I want to change my answer.
Yeah?
I want to do a story about the kid that's reading The Black Freighter.
Ooh. Also really good.
I want that
not
kid's
really
story.
About a
it's not about Watchmen, but that's if I could write a story about a character from Watchmen, I want to do a story about that little kid who shows up every day to read the Black Freighter comic at the comic stand.
Right.
Like, why is that important to that kid?
And who is he? What happens after?
What happens after the squid and all of that?
Right, and between the days when he goes home, because out there each issue he's like, "Oh, back again, boy," you know.
So I want to know, where does he go home? Yeah, where does he go and what happens? And is he like living out some kind of fantasy while reading the Black Freighter, or like because his home life is terrible, or like, not to again harp on my Black Freighter importance, but I just really want to know why this kid shows up to read this comic every day, because they did choose to have it be a kid show up to the newsstand every day and be in the middle of all this happening and yet not see it.
Right, he's not paying attention to the world around him because he's reading his comics, which is part of that conversation.
Yes.
But at the same time, who is he? Why is he there? Where does he go? There's definitely something there about it. You know, what happens after he leaves. Yeah. And he obviously gets back every day, you know. And of course, you'd have these beautiful smoky panels of his little cigarillo floating around everything.
I'm available, DC. If you need a
you have to write a treatment or something. Right. A Dr. Manhattan series would obviously be awesome. I'm surprised that Tom King didn't do a Dr. Manhattan, but because of his CIA background, it makes total sense that he did the Rorschach.
I'm also not, because that's Tom King's thing is like, who was talking about Adam Strange before Strange Adventures? Who was talking about Mr. Miracle before Mr. Miracle? Who was talking about Vision before the Vision?
Right, but people always say they love Rorschach.
Right, people do always say they love Rorschach, but nobody knows anything about Rorschach in the point of understanding him. They're like, oh, I like him because he's like a weird, unreliable narrator, and Tom King's like, why?
And I actually brought this up because there's so much like Rorschach love that when it came out and it was announced, it was like, oh, okay, they're doing a Rorschach series. Cool. Yeah. I love the Watchmen. I love everything Watchmen, so obviously I'm gonna read it. But at the same time, do I care? Yeah. And I kind of had that like fight with myself. Right, you get the poster behind me.
I'm right there behind you.
And at the same time, I'm like, he's not one of my favorites. I mean, besides comedian, he is in my least favorite.
I think I told you I was standing at the bus stop one time, and this kid, we did a reread together of Watchmen one summer, and I was rereading Watchmen standing there, and this kid goes, "Oh my God, you're reading Watchmen! I feel like I identify with Rorschach so much. I love Rorschach, and I moved to the other side of the like the bus stop, because I was like, I don't think you're supposed to.
Right. It's not really.
And like I was like, I'm gonna stand over here while I have this conversation, and he was like, oh man, but he's so cool, and I was like, is he? Like, and like pulled my book
And
like
Ellen
over.
Moore has said, we should really delve into all of this.
Right, this is on our Watchmen thing. We've got so many
right,
comics.
Absolutely.
Watchmen comic talk.
All right, Rorschach, guys. If pick it up, give it a try, and let us know in the comments what you're thinking if you are reading it. Because it's exciting that it's out. It's happening. There's 10 more issues.
Right, there's still so much more to go.
Absolutely.
To go through the rest of these faster than that. Shadow Service number 4 is out. I've talked about this. This is another. I love that it comes out the same time as Black Magic every week, but this will fill my Black Magic voids when it's gone. Right, Juan has now said that we need to have the Watchmen talk. Yes, thank you. Shadow Service is a girl who has witchcraft powers, magical powers, and she talks to a rat. So it's kind of Ratatouille-ish because her buddy in the area is like actual like street rat kind of thing. And she gets taken in by this spy agency that they dub MI666, and they hate that, but that's what happens. This is really, really, really great series, a lot of fun, and we're just starting to, this is from Vault, and we're issue 4, so we're just starting to get into like backstory and necromancy and magic and witchcraft and spy stuff, and so it's super cool. If you guys haven't read it, pick it up. I know everybody's clamoring for some more Watchmen in the future.
Absolutely. Cyan BJ said they want to get Rorschach. Casplay said, Watchmen book club, please. We've actually done a Watchmen book club. We did issue 1 when the second episode of the show dropped last November. We all met here at the store and actually talked about it, which of course we knew it was like everyone's on the edge of their seats waiting just to talk about how the show was going at that point.
Yeah.
And we had all read the book already, but we had a great attendance for it because people love the Watchmen.
And it was people who had never read the book but had seen the movie, and people who had read the book but had never seen the movie, and people who had seen the movie but hadn't read the book but hadn't seen the show, and then there were people who were like, I never read the supplementals, and people like us who live off of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are like, only read the supplementals.
Juan actually said, there's so many words. It's true. Read, actually, just do what Matt just said. Do a read where you read it like a novel and only read the supplementals. And you just get that out of it, and then you're going to be so excited, and you're going to go back and read the book.
Yeah, you will actually, I think if you just read the supplementals, I might do that too. That's a fun book club to do, where we only read the supplemental material. Also, while I'm on this, I'm going to throw this out here. When HBO came out with the show, they actually raised the price of the trade paperback of Watchmen. They slapped a sticker out that said now an HBO series and made the price $24.95. But Diamond still has the $19.99 trade available in their thing, even though all the new prints were $24.95. And we're like, we just want you to read the book. We're not trying to nickel and dime you over this. So we ordered up on the $20 ones. So we actually have the cheaper ones. They're actually more expensive at half-price books now than they are here at Bat City.
God.
Because of the way that their thing works, where their new books
are only 20%.
They're only 20% off, and it actually ends up being like $21 for their copy of it, whereas ours is $20. So we still get those, and it just doesn't have that now an HBO series on there, and you still get all the materials. So if you guys do want a copy of Watchmen, they're only $20 here.
Right, and when you buy your copy of Watchmen, buy a copy of V for Vendetta, because the book is 1,000 times better than the movie. Anyway, that's a part
and
of
V for Vendetta is a better book than Watchmen.
Right, and that's all on our TED Talk.
Absolutely.
Spider-Woman 6 is out this week. If you guys are fans of Jessica Drew buddying up with Carol Danvers, this is going to be your favorite issue of Spider-Woman for this series, because it's just Carol and Jessica working together. It's got that classic banter.
And they're in space.
And they're in space, which is why she had to go to Carol. And there's so much of there. I read so much of this issue out loud to Billy, one of our volunteers, today, because I couldn't stop laughing at it, and I was reading right next to him, so I felt obligated to like tell him why I couldn't stop laughing. But there's like so many times where the girls are just bantering back and forth, and there's a scene in there where Tony Stark, they steal one of Tony's shuttles essentially, and Tony's like, please don't blow up my space shuttle. And Carol's like, of course not, Tony, we'd never do that. And Jessica's like, unless you piss me off. And she's like, Jessica! Like, and they just keep like battling back and forth. It's so good.
This is awesome.
If you guys haven't been reading Jessica Drew's new story, this is issue 6. Catch up on it. It's gorgeous art, tons of fun, and now we have some Carol Jessica love going on.
Absolutely, and these gorgeous covers. I want to kiss her.
I don't blame you, babe. I'm not offended by that.
I know. What's up, Joshua?
Yeah, thanks for
coming,
in.
man.
You know, you got plenty of time. He's like, better late than never. He's
It's
just like we're ever done with this.
Yeah, they're going until 11.
Right. Chip Zdarsky's new series Stillwater is on issue 3.
Yeah.
You guys gotta get in on this now. This is a town where nobody can die. We don't know why. We don't know the details, but 2 guys wander in issue 1, and they figure out that a little kid falls off a roof and doesn't die, and they panic, and things happen. And we find out in issue 1 that there may be a connection between our main character and the town. And this is kind of, we're starting to see a little bit of it unfold, but not really. Because it's Chip Zdarsky, and he's going to leave you on the edge of your seat forever.
Right.
He's going to give you a cliffhanger in issue 1 and then just let you like sit there hanging off the seat and not tell you what's going on because Zdarsky powers.
Speaking of paneling, you can tell from this, but I love how many panels they end up doing with this book and how many word bubbles they're able to fit in. As a letterer, it's very difficult to do that. And yet it feels like the art was created to fit it all in. Like they really do a good job of making it all work.
And I think that Chip Zdarsky being an artist who also writes, or a writer who also does art, however you want to, he's a slashy, however you want to put that in there. Chip Zdarsky, I think because he does, and he's ongoingly doing art in a major series, I think he thinks in terms of, okay, this is the art I want in this thing. This is how I want the words to flow around the art. And so he has that mind space to think of both of those things at the same time. Even though he's not doing the art on this, he's already like scripting it out like in that way. There's a reason the guy has 17,000 Eisners.
Right, and he's such a reclusive kind of dude in his sullen ways. But it's like this is a guy who's written Daredevil and Spider-Man life story at the exact same time, as well as indies, as well as doing the art for Sex Criminals, all at the same time. And he did the research for Spider-Man. He said he literally went and read all of Amazing Spider-Man, starting at issue 1, and read through the entire thing, and then took notes the entire time to denote the eras so that he could reference them for Spider-Man life story while writing an Amazing Daredevil run, while doing art for Sex Criminals, and he wrote White Trees at that time.
Right, at the same time, which was like a 2-issue thing.
And it was like, why even do an indie at this time? How much time do you have? Jesus Christ, man, do you sleep?
No.
Right.
Based off of Twitter, he does not sleep, nor does Donnie.
Right. And based off Twitter, he's drunk the whole time.
He is the only person that gets around the House of Mouse being a drunk.
Right. I don't know somehow he is contracted in such a way that he is able to be an alcoholic.
Right. Phil said going off the 3-issue rule, he's sold on this one. I agree. Phil,
nice.
I've got
those. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Those number 1s coming up in a minute, Phil. So actually, right after. Yes, Zdarsky's one of Phil's favorites. I agree.
Yes.
We are on issue 2 of We Live.
I haven't gotten a chance to read this yet.
I cried my way through issue 1. The end of issue 1 was so powerful, and just the story of 2 siblings. Back it up. This is the story of the Earth is being destroyed, as was called out to our attention, my attention today. All of comics are apparently dystopian right now, but this is the story of the Earth being destroyed, and we've gotten a call out to our Earth that they will take a certain amount of kids to another planet to live and grow, and we can figure out the Earth can just be destroyed and these kids can come back someday or whatever. But the kids, they drop bracelets down, and any kid that finds a bracelet gets to go. Issue 1 shows us the story of a sister who finds a bracelet and gives it to her little brother, who is probably about 5, and she is like, you're gonna go and you're gonna be a superhero, and that's all he does. He dresses up and pretends to be a superhero all the time, and so she's not really told him much more than that, but she's sacrificing like her whole life to get him to this thing, knowing that she doesn't even get to like go with him. She's just trying to get him on this. And there's creatures and there are monsters and there are terrible things that are happening all around them. And we come in issue 2. We leave off on a huge cliffhanger in issue 1. Issue 2 picks up literally right where, like, mid-sentence of where issue 1 left off. And things get worse. And it doesn't have as much of the heart direct, like the over deep story that the arc of issue 1 had in issue 2. but it's still building characters and still building stories, so it's definitely going to continue to be good. There is kind of another little, we get to know another one of the kids a little bit in this issue and see a little bit of them, and it's so good. Yes, Phil, I will definitely put issue 2 of We Live in Your Box.
For sure. And I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but this art is strikingly detailed, strikingly colorful, and we talked about having black versus white in the background of panels, and in these like little background lines here. I think the black really works with this one to help the art like just pop off the page, but at the same time, it's so over detailed and so striking. It also has a really strange writing style in that it's like kind of wordy and like big words, but like really fits to the dystopian like future mind kind of state of things.
And this is Aftershock as well. I told you guys, Matt told you guys, we're like super into Aftershock right now.
They confuse me because this is the Aftershock ad on the back of the thing.
It's not Antarctic.
It's not Antarctic Press. Aftershock Antarctic, but their picture is a dude in the Antarctic.
Yes.
Why? Why did you freaking do that? Why didn't you have a bomb go off and have a bunch of people sitting in the explosion crater and it's like, this is the aftershock? If you're going to have a dude sitting there reading comics.
Right.
God, what a terrible business move on their part. But this is Aftershock Comics. And it's We Live.
When you said Antarctic Press earlier, I was like, you mean Aftershock probably, because I was thinking of that with the Arctic mountain
stupid Arctic thing. Why would you freaking get yourself confused? But this is seriously one of the best books now on the shelf, too.
It's so good. And I know we talked about Origins came out last week, and I was telling
From
Matt.
Boom Studios.
I was telling Matt that Origins feels like the lead-in to We Live. It's like this is how we got to the world, because the world looks like the world that we're seeing in We Live. So right now they feel almost like companion books.
Yes.
And they're both only on like issue ones were both only out, and I was like, ooh, this is just companion series from two separate publishers.
Yeah, and like Phil, I know you're reading Origins. That's from Boom Studios. I want both of these books to drop on a week at the same time so that we can actually compare and contrast them. This book is like more action driven, more wordy, more things happening, whereas Origins is like dead subtle, like nothing's happening, and the point of Origins is to like not make noise and to like be like really, so they're one's like loud and explosive and the other is like reclusive, and
that's why they feel like this is what happened like after the Origins world sets up this world, because it's like that's what they're telling them is like we don't want to make noise, we don't do this. Like in this one they're like being hunted by these creatures, and he's like, you like we're doomed because they like when the creature's blood gets on you, it's also airborne, and they can tell when it's like cockroaches. Like if you kill a cockroach, like other cockroaches know they died. Like it's kind of like that.
Right.
But it feels so much like I'm in the Origin world, and we're supposed to be quiet, and we're supposed to do this, and now we've disrupted that world, and this is the problem that comes
afterwards.
From it. Yeah, it's and like if Origins came to an end and we need to move out of that world, this is why.
I love that they both have these over. And we're totally blowing this because we don't have Origins here. But both of them have this over colorized style. But like this one's like hyper detailed and that one's like almost blurry detailed in a lot of ways. But like the costume design is the same.
And it so fits together.
It's so weird. And one's from Aftershock. And the other is from Boom Studios, but they happen to release at the same time, like within a week of each other. Yeah. It's totally strange.
It's very strange.
It's like that movie Red Planet that came out right after Mission to Mars.
Right, and they weren't connected.
And they weren't connected at all. And actually, this is kind of the Mission to Mars.
It's like that Swamp Thing and Man Thing coming out of month apart.
Which did happen.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you guys saw Mission to Mars and Red Planet, this one is more Mission to Mars, and Origin is more Red Planet.
Yeah.
Which I did like Red Planet better, probably because I'm a Carrie Ann Moss fan. Moving on.
Moving on. Here are my number ones. And not number one picks, but number one, like these issues just launched this week.
Only took us an hour to get to.
I know, sorry guys. The first one is Widowmakers, Red Guardian, and Yelena Belova. I can never say her name right. I always get it wrong. So
I'm gonna like just put that up here so that you can see the name of it.
Everybody thought this was a Black Widow issue because Reggie did this amazing Black Widow cover that is phenomenal. If you want to flip back to that, but this is actually a Yelena story, honestly. And if you get, this was one of those titles that was supposed to come out in conjunction with the Black Widow movie. Obviously didn't. And this is the story of Yelena's been hired for a job, and she goes on this job, and she thinks she's supposed to be killing somebody, and it's completely different. And suddenly, Red Guardian is there. It's classic comic book. It's classic Black Widow side like story characters. And we see Yelena. She's as usual. Like we don't know if she's the good guy or the bad guy. She's just the guy, and she basically says, "I just fight for people now." I love that this is where we're going. Comic books are constantly telling us nothing is about politics, it's about people.
Right.
And I love that
Right. There are no borders.
Right.
This is about people here.
It's about human people life. And I love it. It's been so good. And yes, the covers, the Reggie covers are so damn good. BJ, that is the perfect description of them. I freaking love this one. It's gorgeous. I have more of Reggie covers to show you guys later. This was so great. Shout out once again to Marvel for doing the indigenous people covers and voices story. We're going to talk about that in a minute too, but thank you so much for that, Marvel, and just giving that representation where it was needed. And really Red Guardian. If you guys are, if you were excited about the book, or the movie, this is a great way to supplement that until you do, because these are characters who are going to be in the movie.
Red Guardian's in the movie?
Yeah.
What?
So keep that in mind. Dark Interlude, I'm going to go here next because I'm going to talk about this short amount of time. This is the story of a writer who it's a world where people's fears there's a whole world built around people's fears, and if fears get out of them and the gods of fear and all of this can get out to the world, then the world will fall and tumble into destruction. And the only way to stop that is by giving a writer the ability to spark creativity into the world. Every so many years there has to be a new writer that has to be chosen to be this, and unfortunately for the world, the writer that they chose is actually just a plagiarist and a hack. And so it's like, what do we do now, because this is going on? And then there's also like the in the world story. So we have the story of like him supposed to be battling like to feed the muse and stop the fears, but then and he's doing a terrible job with his storytelling. And at the same time, we've got the story of a publishing company that's trying to deal with like the actual real world effects of like telling a story, and they make really great genre fiction jokes. And I'm sorry for everybody who enjoys adult genre fiction, because they don't read this. It is very much adult genre fiction, but they also make fun of it.
But at the same time, it's making fun of it, yeah.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. It's also mature.
And I think that the long-running muse, like writer that is like trapped in this world, might be very Shakespearean, possibly Shakespeare himself. But we do see, because he's like, oh, it's funny that you think that since me, there's been other writers who have come along, but I've trapped everything in, and it's always been me. Every story that's been told since me has been me. And I was like, oh, so you're Shakespeare, because that makes sense.
Right. This is also from Vault. And like I just said, it's pretty mature. There is nudity and language in this. This is not one for your kids.
No.
Probably not even your high school kids.
This is one for your Psy. If you are still watching Psy, you would probably actually really enjoy this, because it's high fantasy and writing Shakespearean and writers who are like,
and tongue-in-cheek jabs at the industry.
Right, very heavy literary jokes and stuff. So this is definitely one that you might enjoy. And feels in that same world of like high fantasy. Like if you're a Tolkien fan, you probably will enjoy this.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. At least the writing of it.
The writing of it is very Tolkien in the beginning. I was like, oh, we're doing this. So if you're like Tolkien, George R.R. Martin, any of those like highbrow, like high fantasy kind of things, the whole first half of this book is just written like that. And I was like, oh.
It's called Dark Interlude from Vault.
I read YA. This is not for me. But it does actually pick up. So for everybody. Children of the Grave. This is the story. It's kind of like the 100. Speaking of YA, this is the story of our Earth suddenly only has people, like the oldest person on Earth is about to turn 30 in this issue, and there's something weird about that, because they're not birthed from there's not an adult, there's no mothers, there's no fathers, but new kids show up all the time. And nobody knows how. And nobody's allowed to leave the town in which they all live in. And so there's all kinds of weird stuff. And there's one kid who's like, I don't know what's going on, but I want out of here and I want to go figure it out. And of course, he's found Black Sabbath tapes. So he's like, I'm putting on my Black Sabbath and I'm putting my way out of here.
which is Children of the Grave.
Yes, exactly. And that's the song he plays.
That's my impression. I'm going to do Black
beautiful.
Sabbath impressions.
Right. I still want your other musical impressions. Your Nine Inch Nails by Matt's Mouth. But so yeah, this is a great story. This is Scout. We talked about another one of the comic small presses that doesn't get a lot of attention. I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. This is crazy.
This is cool.
It's very much like a dark, like where is this going kind of thing. And we find out that there's trackers, there's mysterious characters, there's don't show the last page. Even the writer note at the back is, yeah, what the hell is that kind of thing. So don't show the back page because that is a huge thing. Yeah, you guys definitely got
freaking narration bubbles.
Definitely. He is narrating. He is thinking one thing while saying another thing the whole time, and I love that because we usually see narration to fill in the story, and then they kind of have their conversation, and this is a character who's like narrating to us and saying a completely different thing to the powers that be at the same time. So, and then there's the Black Sabbath song in the middle of narration.
Sweet. And that's from Scout Comics too. Put that up, Scout.
And speaking of Scout, this scary, crazy, amazing book, The Recount.
Yeah, we had a couple of pre-orders for this.
Holy cow.
Yeah?
This is I'm like, I don't even know what I can say that's not going to get our live stream kicked off because they're going to think I'm indirectly talking about something else. But this is the story of a world where the president is assassinated on like the first page of the book. Mm-hmm. And basically, if there's a secret society of people who is going to go after everybody who voted for the other party.
Oh.
And I say secret society, that's not secret anymore once this thing starts.
And so they have to recount.
They did their own recount to figure out who voted not for their choice. And they are going to basically go after, like purge style, everybody who voted for the other candidate.
I have to read this.
You have to read this book. I read that book. I started to read it, and it was so late at night. I was like, I can't do this. I have to read this when I'm awake. And I went back and I read it, and I was like, oh my God.
You're like, Facebook, I just got to turn off, and it's like, the election recount.
Right. I was like, oh my God, like this is terrifying. And such a good comic, though, at the same time. Like, the storytelling is really good in this. The plot, the idea is really good. I'm terrified of what happens in issue 2. Because it is uber realistic in the story.
Justice was served.
It's, oh my gosh. If you guys are looking for something that's way too real, but also really well done, The Recount is it. Scout Comics, once again, showing us stuff. Yes, the artwork looks really good. It is actually really good art.
It actually looks extremely AWA upshot. Drink, 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 drink. If you're just joining us, we're playing a drinking game where every time you say AWA upshot with the drink, oh man, you're
gonna. Yes, Juan, I will definitely put one aside for you. Oh my gosh, you were gonna have so much to say.
So much to say about this. I'm excited.
Yeah, Cameron said it was an intriguing read. That is a solid way to describe that. It's
intriguing read. I like that they put first printing. You probably can't see that.
Yeah,
first printing.
It also says it's for mature readers. I like that on our wall, this sits next to Red Atlantis, which both take place on Election Day in America, and things go wrong in both of those. I talked about Red Atlantis last week. You guys should totally read it. Last number one I'm going to mention, I saved this until I put the number ones last.
Is this our last pick of the week?
Yeah, I know. It was a huge week, guys. But I also put this at the end because I had a conversation about Phil about this today, and this is amazing. This is Sea of Sorrows number 1. This is one of those books, and we've talked about this on our book club before, where you want to take your cell phone and shine the light on the art because the art probably changes under extreme scrutiny of light. It's the story of people who are trying to find basically a buried treasure under the sea, and they find more than that, and you have to be really, really careful on what pages you show. And there's actually one specific one I do want you to show that this one. This is one of those, it's so dark in depths of the ocean, like bottom of the sea, and things happen that are just Like even just like, oh, the shark, like it's things that you imagine. Like
There's a shark?
yeah,
Okay.
right here. Turn it around towards me. I'll show you, and then you can see. See right here. There's like
Oh,
a shark.
wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is one of those like you feel like you're at the bottom of the sea. And Phil and I were kind of talking about that earlier. If you're still on the chat, Phil, please feel free to throw that in there. But
Shark.
when you're under, you feel like you're actually on the depths of underwater. And this is in like the 1920s. So they keep talking about World War One and the things that they did in the world, in the war, and the things that affect. But this is also like people, everybody's shady. Nobody's a good person in this. This is a spoiler. Don't show that.
Yeah.
And there is where this goes is not where I thought it was going to go, and yet entirely where I thought it was going to go. So I was like, this is about to be one of those books where every time it comes in, I need to read it and see like dark, creepy adventure story. Um, if you were a fan of the plunge with the ghost ship, then and the Joe Hill story, the plunge, which was all about ghost ships and underwater stuff, you will definitely be intrigued in this. If you like Spyland, but you wish there was a dark, creepy version of it, like a horror movie version of Spyland, this is also going to fit into that.
Of course, that's Spy Island.
Spy Island for the normal people in
right.
the world.
If you've been keeping up with our live stream, Megan Hutchison lovingly named it Spyland.
Right.
During that episode.
Right. So,
a couple episodes back.
But yeah.
This is from IDW too, which IDW doesn't do a lot of original content. Mm-hmm. They're known for having the rights to Star Trek and
all the Marvel kid versions of Marvel.
Right, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is their other big one.
I
always want to say Buffy, right, and I get hung up on Buffy, but Buffy was Dark Horse and then it was IDW, and now it's Boom. Mm-hmm. So it's gotten sold off a few times. But yeah, they also have Terminator, I think.
Yeah. Yes, and Transformers. If they're and My Little Pony, they're all Hasbro properties, but
right.
If you have,
but IDW doesn't put out a lot of their own titles anymore, and this is really cool because again, like Shannon said, this is a boom of indie
no pun intended.
Publishers and great titles coming out from independent comic creators.
And something I talked about, I think I might have mentioned it on the live stream last week, but I definitely talked about it in the store a lot this week, is people always say, like, oh, well, I'm not into comic books because I don't like superheroes. Yeah. And that is like if you walked into a regular bookstore and said, I'm not into books because I don't like comics. It's the same amount of space that takes up. Or, I'm not into books because I don't like picture books. Like, if you picked a genre in a bookstore and you walked in and said, I don't read because I don't like this, it's the same thing, because a comic book store is a bookstore, and it is the same thing. There are over 100 titles right now in our store that are ongoing weekly titles, and they're all from different genres. So if we and if we really want
we've got 125 on the wall, and then we have an additional new comic box. So we're probably getting about 150 current ongoing titles here in our small shop.
And that's huge because we are a small shop. And so if you think about it, that's like and each of those, like if they were full books, they'd take up whole sections. Like we did for a while. We had it separated by genre.
And before it moved into the background.
And everybody thought, oh, I never thought about comics like that. When they'd come in, they'd say, oh, I never thought about comics like that. That makes so much sense. Like, wow, I can't believe there are this many horror comics. And I'm like, I don't have enough room for all the horror comics we buy at this store.
There's more in the additional new box.
That's what we buy at this store. And it's like everything, like I didn't realize there were new real world fiction or this and that. And so it's like any genre that you go to a regular bookstore and buy a book from, there is at least minimum probably 50 comics right now in that genre.
Yeah. And I'm so surprised because everything that I read that's an indie, like Sea of Stars, you just saw me read. I mean, how many books do I pick up here and just start reading? But there are always books that I'm constantly finding where it's my new favorite. Mm-hmm. And it's usually indie titles. Mm-hmm. And I would say maybe 30 to 40% of our new comic book wall is superheroes. And the other 60%, 70% is indie titles and all these other cool things that are coming out and are just about all kinds of stuff.
Which is an important note. If you come to our store, our wall is going to be predominantly indie. That does not mean we don't have the current superhero title. It's just like we do on our live stream. You're reading this. We don't need to talk about it. That's how we feel about our wall. Our new comic book wall is geared more towards things you probably don't remember to ask about or don't know to ask about, with like little signs from us about what that book is about.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're reading Savage Avengers, you're gonna come to us and say, "Hey, where's Savage Avengers for this week that came out?" Which I get that question every time a Savage Avengers comic comes out. But you're not necessarily going to look up the autumnal, and
Right. Right.
but
You're
but
gonna
I'm
miss
like,
that.
look at this comic.
Right. Please look at this
Please look
comic.
at
It's
this. It's
extraordinary.
amazing. Bad Mother, amazing.
Yeah.
Sea of Sorrows, things that you didn't know about. And that's kind of why we do this live stream too. We want to tell you about these comics that you're not necessarily hearing about. They're not the death metal and deceased and X of Swords and the stuff that's going to be thrown into your face on the internet. These are the ones that do need a little bit of a push, but if we do give them a little bit of business and we keep ordering them as we do, we want to, as part of our nonprofit too, support these independent
Absolutely.
creators and get some more cool comics out into the market.
Absolutely. Uh, Phil said, I feel like indies are killing it right now. If I dropped all my DC and Marvel, I could drop all my DC and Marvel and have such an array of great books. It's totally true. Please don't. I mean, there's still great and wonderful things coming out from DC and Marvel. We'll go through those in a second. But yeah, you could live off indies right now. And Phil said, or Cameron said, I don't like reading regular books because it's too many words and doesn't have pictures. Just gonna laugh.
That's awesome.
Because I also know that that's totally like Cameron would read a book if you told him it was extraordinary. So
Absolutely.
I can laugh about that.
Absolutely.
The slept on comics, Joshua said slept on comics are always the best, 100%. And that's why I spoil all of the slept on comics for you so that you know which ones to go after.
Totally. Which, Joshua, if you're still with us, I found a copy of Possessed #2.
Ooh.
Let me know if you still need that. I threw it into your box for safekeeping. I know we were looking for it together, but speaking of cool indie underground titles and things like that.
Yeah. All right. That was a lot of picks of the week, guys.
Lot.
I read every single one of those books this week, and I couldn't pick which ones you had to know about because they were all so good.
It's a stack.
It's a stack. It's a massive stack.
Let's give you guys something.
Let's give them this. You love this. You want to tell them what that is?
Oh man, this is Death Defying Devil. This is a character that's been around for quite some time, and Gail Simone brought it back for
5 issues.
5 issues, kind of a little mini series from Dynamite, and we're going to give you an issue #1 of this.
Yeah, and your question is,
Gotcha, buddy.
Aquaman had a love before Mira, who he had a son with. And I'm actually just gonna tell you what book it was in. Originally, I was like, you have to know, but in Aquaman Time and Tide, Aquaman had a previous love interest who he had a son with. If you can tell me that character's name, you can get this book. And if you didn't notice by question 1 and by this one, there is a theme. I am actually celebrating Indigenous characters here on our live stream with questions today. And yes, awesome. BJ was followed by Gail Simone on Twitter this week. So we're all like not good enough.
BJ's gotten to that point of 11,000K or 11K tweets.
Right.
And she's like, this guy's always super nice.
Right, he's always tweeting. He's got some funny jokes that I love to share. So I'm gonna go with it. And BJ, also thank you, BJ, for constantly tweeting about us to all of these comic creators you love so much. I super appreciate the fact that you're always telling your not the name of the baby Gomez. However, Aqua Baby would be a great thing. But what is the name of the woman in Aquaman Time and Tide that he had a relationship with and a son that we don't find out about until later with?
Who's the non-Mira?
Who's the non-Mira that Aquaman had a kid with?
Lana Lang of the situation.
I was originally going to save this question for later, and I totally screwed that up. But this is actually a Peter David book. And we have it in stock, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But yeah, you guys are all coming up with some great names, none of which are what you would find if you Googled this answer.
Right. It's not Lana Lang, though.
It's not Lana Lang.
I really like Lana Lang Superwoman.
I do like Lana Lang Superwoman.
I'm a fan of that.
I like Lana Lang in all incarnations except for Smallville.
Heard that, too.
Yeah.
Heard that.
I actually just don't like the actress. Kristen Cruick is not my favorite. I'm sorry if you ever watch this live stream. I don't mean to insult you. But I don't enjoy Lana Yeah, I know. We've got Jean Grey as a choice here from Renee. I thought that was great. Thanks for joining, Renee.
You're welcome.
It's not dolphin, Guillermo. Guys, literally Google Aquaman time and time and just time and tide and look up questions. It is not Mira, it's pre Mira, according to this story. And um, yeah, Jerry says he actually owns Time and Tide, but it's been too long and he doesn't remember. I will also tell you guys, remember that the theme of the questions is Indigenous people. Yes, Sai, thank you. I can always count on my Googler to know the answer to
Kato.
Keiko.
Okay.
She is Keiko is she's also known, ironically, no pun intended for right now, but she's also known as Corona. But she is an Inuit woman who Aquaman falls in love with and has a child, pre-Mira, and we don't find out about the child until later on.
Sai, I can't wait for you to read this book. Death Defying Devil is super fun.
Yeah.
And poignant.
Phil said Ariel. Oh, you guys are ridiculous.
Fine choice.
Right.
You know, fine choice. She made her first appearance in Sea of Sorrows, #1.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
In stock.
In stock.
What's up, Shan? We got a bunch of in stock comics that came out this week.
I freaking love this cover.
This is a great cover. This is super cool.
King in Black, Symbiote Spider-Man #1.
This is the first book of King in Black.
First book of King in Black. I have tons of it because I know you guys are going to be like, oh man, I slept on that Symbiote Spider-Man and now I got to go back.
Oh man, I was really excited about King in Black and I didn't get the opening act of it.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's right here.
It's here. It's out.
And I love this cover. Once again, I love that classic Marvel look to it. So, yes, you guys gotta check that one out. It's so good.
I love this. I want to show this because that's super sweet. Super awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that's out.
Yeah, get it now.
Get it. Get on your King in Black.
Right, you all gonna want it later, so you gotta just jump on it now. Speaking of things you all want, Something's Killing the Children #12 is out this week, and I'm gonna throw 2 covers at you because this is the coolest blank.
Yeah,
this is the bloody blank.
The blood blank.
Oh my gosh.
Which is nice for a remark.
Yeah.
You know, quick little sketch at a con. Or something.
James Tynion killing it. Oh my gosh, there's nothing he's not
and the children.
And the children apparently. James Tynion, stop killing children.
Right.
So good. So good. Such a good series. If you guys don't know what it's about, catch up on it now.
I do have to give an update. A lot of people have been asking about when is the trade for Something's Killing the Children.
Never.
We ordered the trade of Something's Killing the Children. We ordered 5 or 6 copies, and it's back ordered.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was back ordered the second that it was released. I feel like, so you can initial order things, and then, you know, you FOC them and final order cutoff 3 weeks before they come out. You're like, okay, I'm for sure I want this many. We FOC'd copies, we final order cutoff copies, and it was already backward. Like, I feel like people were placing the order, like, they were like, oh no, Something's Killing the Children trade is coming out, order. And they just never, like, even printed enough for it or something. So we're still waiting for our copies of the trade for, like, issues 1 through 5 or 6 or whatever. But when we get them, we'll let you know, because we've got a lot.
Yes,
and everyone wants to read. I haven't read Something's Killing the Children.
But we have it. Don't touch ours.
I'm not touching it. The #1 of this book, we own a #1 because we were excited when it came out, and we got those cool Frozen Virgin variants. We're like, oh man, this book is great, and immediately it was like, oh, this is the hot book. So we threw it in a bag and board, and we put it in our BCW short box, and we're like, okay, lock the lid, don't touch it. Right. And now it's like a $200 book for #1, and no, we're not going to open it up and read it. So where is that damn trade? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you guys got to check it out. It's so good. You got to do it. Cam, yes, we've got. I didn't know you didn't get a bloody blink. I will definitely put one in your box. I'm pretty sure I ordered them for you specifically. And so
right, Cam is like a master set at this point of this series. He's got all of them.
I'm jealous of Cam's Something Is Killing the Children collection.
Did you see his Virgin variants that I shipped in?
I want to talk about it.
I know he got the Inyuk Lee #11 trade dress and Virgin. I just sent him to CGC for him. Those went. They're already in the mail.
Good job, Cam. Good job.
Good job. Good collecting.
Doctor Who. This is a Doctor Who comic. It is a
And it,
number one, and then most importantly, it's a Peach Momoko variant. So if you are trying to master set your Peach Momoko variants, uh, you gotta catch these Doctor Who ones because
of
Peach
the new
Momoko,
Doctor too.
the new Doctor, and it looks like David Tennant's Doctor underneath that. So
Right. Let's put the two Doctors that everybody loves right now together into a book and
right,
have Peach Momoko do a cover for it.
right. How do we sell Doctor Who comics?
Right.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it right there.
Marvel snapshots. This is the Avengers Marvel snapshot, and once again, I love this cover for the classic Marvelness of it.
All of the snapshots have a variant that are the classic ones. The cover A of this is an Iron Man cover. We really like this. Obviously, we love our old comics here, and this cover's awesome.
Yes.
I've heard that all these are amazing. Kurt Busiek is in charge of them.
Oh.
He's like the editor for all of the Marvel snapshots right now. Like they gave him the project, and he's able to pick the writers
really
and put them in the places.
It's almost like it's his own little imprint.
It's his own little imprint. It's the Marvel snapshot.
Yeah.
So if you guys are Kurt Busiek fans, Marvel snapshots is kind of the thing to do. And the thing that I like about him is that you get one story and it's a one shot, and you can read it, and it's got that Kurt Busiek heart that we all love.
Teen Titans is done.
We got a shout out.
We got Joshua said Dr. Dre, just kidding.
Oh, right.
And Guillermo said that they actually have the Department of Truth homage to Something is Killing in Children, and that's all in acronyms. So I feel like I just translated.
Right. Good job. That is the 1 in 100 variant. It was very exciting.
Yes. Teen Titans has ended. So has Aquaman, I believe.
Yes.
And
they got married.
And Batgirl. Yeah, they got married. There was like a little invitation. It was cute. Yeah. It wasn't like as big as the deal of the Batman wedding, which I think is
I was like, they weren't already married.
Right. I thought they were.
Right.
I was very confused. But anyway,
we're married.
Thanks, babe. They know.
I had to throw it in there.
We actually did get married in Batman and Catwoman's outfits. So hey, Tom King, some people get married.
Now we have to get married in Aquaman and Mira's outfit.
We are getting married again.
We are getting married again.
Batman 103 is out. You guys are reading it. You don't need me to tell you. However, maybe you do because you're all sleeping on punchline number 1. And for the love of God, read punchline number 1.
Right, if you're gonna read Batman, read punchline.
Right. I don't even care that they created punchline. I don't care about Joker War. I will be honest with you all, but I will tell you if you didn't read punchline number 1, you're missing out. Go read punchline number 1. It's such a good story. It's one of my Tynan tops for the year. Such a good story. Read it. Read it.
Read it.
Read it. Buffy Willow. I do love these covers.
Oh god, this cover's awesome.
Covers are freaking phenomenal. I love that the back is always a Ouija board and it's always on the.
There's 3 covers for this issue, but this is definitely our favorite.
So good.
And yeah, there's the Ouija board, and the Ouija highlights the issue number that it is, which is a cool idea. But yeah, I've also heard that this is the best of the series that are out right now. If you guys are Buffy fans, there's Buffy, and then there's Angel and Spike, and there's Willow, and the Willow one is the one that everybody's enjoying. And supposedly they're teasing who's your girlfriend? Tara. They're teasing Tara right now, supposedly. Right. Yeah, way to go. Yeah. Good job.
Phil said, I heard the first issue of Punchline wasn't that good. I have soapboxed last week on the live stream. So because Matt wants to eat dinner sometime today, I won't go into the whole thing again. But what's beautiful about Punchline number 1 is that it is just James Tynion commenting on the following a villain and using the media to sway other people to your idea that the villain is who you should follow and you should not trust anybody else.
Yeah, and if you feel that way, you're probably not going to enjoy the comic. If you identify with the villain, if you think that the villain is doing good things for us, then you're not going to enjoy the comic.
We talked about this because we did the book club with Jason Todd getting killed, and we talked about how they've oftentimes used the Joker to reflect on who the biggest villain in our society at the time is. And this is another one of those instances where they use the Joker as a stand-in for who a big villain in our society is and make a commentary on that. So this is definitely like, hey, if you're hearing all of these things and you're seeing all these people and you're having these conversations on the internet, you're about to relive them through Punchline 1 and you're gonna get James Tynan's commentary on it. It has nothing to do with action, it has nothing to do with the Joker. It is a straight James Tynan telling you this is what's happening right now and this is why people are believing that and maybe don't.
And I feel like this is a common thing that we're seeing these days, that things that don't have a lot of action in them don't get positive reviews. It feels like the people who are making reviews only like action. And I am talking to everyone who gave negative reviews to the New Mutants movie, because that movie is badass. And I don't understand why it has a 4 out of 10 on IMDb. But apparently, the people who are rating this crap have only a heart for action, and they only want that. The Punchline book is not about action.
No.
It is all about the current state of America. New Mutants movie is not about action. It is about characters meeting each other and becoming friends, and all of the dialogue that happens in there. They're not kicking each other's butts in CGI, colorful, flying through space action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
It's another conversation. Joshua, this one is technically a one shot. It does say at the end of the book, spoiler, it says to be continued in 2021. So there will be more to come, but I don't know what that more is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if it'll actually be a Punchline series or if she'll somehow just be back in another title, but it does say at the end to be continued in 2021. But this is technically listed as a one shot on not Diamond, because anybody but not Diamond apparently
on DC's stuff. Also, I'm gonna shout this out again. We are drinking Love Noir tonight.
It's really good.
It is really good. It's kind of bitter.
Is it?
It's like bitter. It's not buttery.
It's not as buttery.
It's like a little dry. Yeah, it's like it's got a little bit of dryness. It's got a little bit of bitterness. It's got a little bit of sweetness. This is their satin red. They also make a Pinot Noir that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
We saw the bottle and we chose this one, but we're probably going to do the Pinot Noir on another one. Yeah. This is a really good one, though. I like it. It's a perfect blend.
I agree.
Between dry and sweet. And buttery and not buttery. And, yeah.
Cam said, I feel like Punchline #1 also showed how easy someone can get indoctrined. Yes. Oh my God, yes Cam. And it's an oversized issue, so it's a long story. You get a lot of
great insight.
Really, Shan soapbox about Punchline #1.
Go back and watch last week's episode.
Right, I rant about it for a while.
This is done, yeah.
Catwoman #27 is out. It's Catwoman. It's a story. It's good.
Yep, and there was a Frizen cover, but we sold out.
If you guys want those Jenny Frizen Catwoman covers, tell me in advance, and I will order them for you. Otherwise, you are not getting them.
Because they don't.
They do not stay around for long, so let me know as fast as possible.
New writer.
Pre-order, that is. Yeah, it's not Joelle Jones anymore.
It's V. Which I like.
Dark Knight's Death Metal #5 is out. You guys are reading it. You don't need me to tell you what it's about.
Right, and this is the final death metal. I think you guys let us know.
I just ordered more right now, so that's not true.
Of #6? Of #6?
No, there's literally 7.
No, it was a tie-in. We ordered another tie-in. I think it's the follow-up tie-in. I believe that this is the final issue of the ongoing. There might be a 6th.
There was 6 of the first one, so I think there was a 6th of this one too.
Cool. This has so many tie-ins and things.
So many. And now they're also already doing a dark multiverse version of Death Metal, which I thought, or of Dark Knight's Metal, which I thought was a dark multiverse.
DC has backed themselves into a corner where they have 3 properties. They have Batman, they have Metal, and they have Deceased. And they are playing in those things. Everything is a tie-in of Batman or one of the 13 Batman titles that's out or coming out. All of the tie-ins for Death Metal. I mean, it's like Death Metal, and on the weeks that there is not Death Metal, there's a tie-in for it. And then Deceased. And how many Deceased runs are we going to do now? We're in like volume 8 of Deceased.
Right.
But I guess it's working for him.
To answer Joshua's question, Joshua said, are they really shutting down? No, anything Cosmic News says is a lie.
Cosmic News is the worst thing ever.
It's not.
If you see the headline from Cosmic News, not Comic News or whatever,
right,
Cosmic Cosmic Book News.
Cosmic Book News, Cosmic
Yes,
News, whatever it is.
they're
Yeah.
Cosmic Book News, so because it looks like comic book
Right.
news.
It's not real.
It's totally
It's clickbait.
fake. It is clickbait. It is made by a hate group also.
They hate everything in the industry apparently. So no, as of right now, DC is not closing down.
No.
We already know what DC is putting out all the way through March.
Yes.
So it's definitely not the case. AT&T is trying to figure out what they want to do with it.
Right. Jim Lee is not leaving.
Right. Jim Lee, follow Jim Lee on Twitter, because if anybody's ever going to tell you whether or not DC is closing, Jim Lee's Twitter or Instagram or whatever is going to be your first place.
If you're seeing a link like that on Facebook, go to Twitter.
Yeah.
It honestly, I've kind of jumped on this train in the last 6 months. As much as our live stream is right now on Facebook, get off Facebook for your news, for comic book stuff, because all of the writers and artists and creators are going to tweet about it. They're not going to post it on Facebook, and if they did, the Facebook algorithm isn't going to push it into your feed.
Unless you follow Johnny Cates, then follow the Devil's Advocates fan club, because I guarantee you the information does directly come from somebody in contact with Johnny Cates and Megan Hutchinson on a regular basis.
And that's on the Facebook.
So
that's kind of a cool amalgamation of all of their stuff that they have going on. All that news is true. But for the rest of it, follow them on Twitter. Don't follow them on Facebook.
Joshua said, why don't we all just put our money together and buy DC from AT&T, and then we'll take over the world? This is a great idea. Because then I can write a Zatanna book, and apparently a story about the kid from Watchmen who was reading...
and a cool Aquaman book, too.
Oh, I have so many ideas for Aquaman, guys. Oh, my God. We're not going there. I don't have time
live
for
stream.
That is another live stream, except I don't want to give you my ideas, so...
Real quick. Fantastic Four, was this Antithesis?
No, this is actually Fantastic Four, but this is the Phoenix variant.
Cool.
We are doing Phoenix variants for all of the titles right now, because we don't know who's going to end up with Phoenix Force next, and it's somebody in the MCU. I'm voting Valkyrie just because her cover was the best.
And Phoenix is awesome.
Juggernaut's out.
Juggernaut's out. We can't keep this title on the shelf. What is going on with Juggernaut? Why do you guys love Juggernaut?
Right,
Drop in the comments. Why Juggernaut is amazing. I would actually really want it.
Because we never have it in stock long enough to know what's going on.
I understand that X of Swords is amazing. I have enough customers who come in and they're like, oh my god, this and this and this and this happened, and I feel like I'm getting all of X of Swords without actually getting X of Swords. I'm not getting Juggernaut, and I'm selling out of it. Why?
We also had a customer come in and described X of Swords as Hickman's sword and sorcery fantasy come to life. If you ever read Sword and Sorcery, it was a hilarious reference, and I thought, oh, I never really thought of that.
But then they described what was going on,
right,
and it wasn't anything like Sword and Sorcery.
No,
so we've got X Swords, 3 titles this week: X-Force, Cable, and Hellions.
Yeah.
All of which don't really have anything to do with their respective characters, because, again, I was told everything that happened in all of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the FOC Final Order cutoff for the trade paperback was this week for X of Swords. The trade paperback is $99.
It's true. Buy these issues.
22 issues of the thing. We essentially have
all of
it, if not second. Some of it might be second print, but it actually ends up being like 50 cents cheaper if you buy all of the issues.
And then you have the issues for when they end up being worth something.
Right, and then you have them. Exactly. So, might actually be better to buy the issues individually. And you get the digital codes.
Yeah.
With all of these.
Phil said, in regards to Juggernaut, he is one of the best X-Men villains. He also said he has $400 in his savings account, so he's ready for that DC buyout.
Oh, man, look at that. Everybody start dropping the money in.
Please don't start dropping how much money.
Right. Well, I got 25 cents.
Once in Future is out. This is issue number 13.
If you're reading it, you're reading it. And you love it.
If you're reading Amazing Spider-Man, don't be confused, because Amazing Spider-Man will tell you that it is Last Remains, but then there is also Amazing Spider-Man of the same number, .lr, which stands for Last Remains. They are two different things. They are part of the same story.
I literally had 3 customers this week say, oh, I'm not getting Last Remains. And I'm like, well, this is just the regular Spider-Man. Number 53, Last Remains. But then 53 LR, I believe, comes out this Wednesday.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So that one's the one that you don't want to get if you're not reading The Last Remains. Although I've heard that it's also the same story, that it's like 53 and 53 LR is essentially the same
Yeah.
storyline, but it was too much to put into one issue, and they didn't want to do an oversized like a 5.99 or a 7.99 issue, so they just split it into the
Yeah.
additional issue because there's so much more story. So you kind of need to read it. So
Yeah.
by the time you get to 54, if you didn't read the LR,
You're kind of lost.
you're kind of lost. I don't
Makes
know.
sense. Joshua said it's just because Marvel likes to confuse readers.
They love it. They love it.
It's
They're
their
the
thing.
ones who made up the damn legacy number.
Right. I have to throw out that Phil said a podcast he listens to said X of Swords is basically Space Jam with the X-Men and swords.
Oh my god, it is. From everything I've been told about it, it is Space Jam. That is so funny. Apparently, they're not even sword fighting anymore. There's all kinds of other contests that are
Drinking
going on,
contest
drinking
and
contests and arm wrestling and
I called it the Challenge of the Super Friends episode where they go to the planet and they have to. There's them and the Legion of Doom are both taken by these aliens and they're made to do these stupid, ridiculous challenges.
right.
And it's like, oh, you thought you won, but really, what it means, we actually wanted you to do this other thing. And they're like, oh, but you told us to do this thing. And they're like, but that's not what that means on our planet.
Right, exactly. And they
Yeah.
keep screwing with them. There's a lot of that
That's
in
a
the
lot of
X of
that.
Swords. Again, if you guys do want that trade, let us know now.
So you don't have a something is killing children moment.
Exactly, so that it doesn't sell out or something like that. I assume it's going to make an awesome Christmas gift, and I think that's why. I mean, this series is going to end in the next week, 2 weeks.
Right,
We're on like number 17 or 19, right, 19 of 22. So we've got like 2 or 3 issues more. There's an Excalibur, there's an X-Men, something, and there's X of Swords Destruction.
Yes.
So it probably ends this week or the following, and then the trade drops right after it, which we're going to talk about with Three Jokers.
Yes.
I think that they did that so that the trade could be out for the holiday season
100%.
because even me, I'm like, if somebody dropped an X of Swords trade on me, I'd be like, wow, this is a really nice gift. I don't know if I'm going to read it.
However, if you want to drop a gift on him, he really wants the Steelbook of New Mutants for Christmas.
You're sweet. You're sweet. I actually have a hookup that's going to try and find me one.
Okay.
Down the line here, because at this point, the New Mutants Steelbook, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about we're actually going to have a quick New Mutants discussion coming up. Venom is out this week, Venom 30, which is exciting.
Yeah. King in Black, let me know if you want it. And let me know what cover you want because there's thousands of them, and you definitely want the Ian Betterman tattoo covers because Ian is the shit.
Right. We're definitely going to order you the Ian Betterman cover if you don't.
If you don't specify, you're getting an Ian cover because we love Ian. He's amazing. His wife has amazing and incredible bath bombs on sale in her store. Shout out to Joanna Black Cat Familiar for being kick-ass.
And if you guys want a super cool little experience for yourself while you're reading your comics, come buy one of these bath bombs. They're in like a little cauldron, and it bubbles out of the cauldron and then makes your bath bubble like a cauldron. And you get to keep the little plastic cauldron, and they're $6, and then you can lay in your bath and read some comics.
Right, please buy 2 copies of your comics if you're going to do that because water will damage your comics.
Or hold your comics like out and be really careful with it. I mean, I feel like I would be good. I don't know.
My mom read all of my books in the bathtub as a kid, and all my books are ruined.
Right, because of the
so you get your feet, your fingers get wet, and then you like touch things. I don't know. So sorry, Mom, to call you out on that, but seriously, you ruined all my books.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, yeah, like Shan said, if you guys are into the King in Black thing, let us know which cover. Otherwise, you're getting an Ian Betterman. I already have a tattoo appointment aligned with him. I know it's gonna be
And great. They move. They're in a new spot.
Right.
So I think it's by a cemetery, so it's super sweet. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna get the sick Ian Betterman tattoo.
Hell yeah.
Ian is in town and he is working towards that. He definitely wants to go kind of post-COVID with his tattooing.
Yeah, and he, if you guys don't know, Ian Betterman is the guy behind the original design for Cosmic Ghost Rider. He is also the artist on Tomahawk, which he did with Donnie, and will be the sequel will be with Grant Morrison. So. Right. The Darkness celebrated 25 years this year. We were just talking about Top Cow and all of the Image titles and things like that together the other day, but it's 25th anniversary of the Darkness. And so if you guys need some 25th anniversary, we have a couple of the covers just to celebrate that. And then lastly, I think you guys may have been waiting on this, but after 2.5 years of waiting, Seven to Eternity is finally back to wrap up with their last few issues. So, you guys, if you are Seven to Eternity fans, it's back. It's here. You can get it.
And y'all are Seven to Eternity
You
fans.
are.
I have to jump into my Texas mode here.
Right.
Y'all are definitely Seven to Eternity fans. We sold out of cover A, and we only have the variant.
And that's Tedesco.
It is, and right, this is a Tedesco variant. If you guys are Daredevil fans, you'll love the Julian Tedesco.
Right, I was
cool,
actually super excited about the fact that there was a Tedesco variant.
Right.
So sorry, guys,
we had to order
ordered
some to give our boy Tedesco some
I know.
love. But yeah, we're A gone.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that y'all are back. That your title's
Oh
back.
shit, I forgot.
And that you're excited.
And Joshua said his girlfriend overheard bath bombs and totally interested. Yes, they are awesome.
He also said I love Space Jam.
Yeah.
I was like,
Then BJ said that this is totally beautiful. Seven to Eternity, read it. If you guys didn't catch them, there are new Reggie variants. We showed you the Widowmakers earlier with Black Widow on it. Immortal Hulk also has one.
Dude.
This, I think this might be my favorite. I don't know, I say that every time, every week, but the Captain America one is freaking extraordinary.
It's not mine. Mine's coming up.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, mine's coming up. This is awesome. I mean, that's what just make Cap's shield look like that. It's cool.
Yeah. And then we've got on Marvel's Indigenous Voices. We've got this one, which I believe is Portal. I could be wrong. Actually, they told you in the book which one it was, and now it's not. It's actually somebody else. They actually have, and if you'll open it up to the very first page, they do this.
Oh,
this is a great, it's beautiful artwork. Reggie actually did this himself, but this is actually all of the native and indigenous characters in Marvel and who they are and what their powers are and where they come from. It's such a beautiful, amazing way to tell us.
I want a poster of this.
Oh, I know, me too. It's so gorgeous. And I absolutely 100%. This is a great way to just learn who those characters are.
This is dope.
This is probably what you were saying was your favorite coming up.
Yeah,
next.
hold on. I'm busy.
You can read it later.
Yeah.
You can't read. I know. Reggie does the first story in here.
And that's the Guardian, too?
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Marvel had the Marvel Voices. We're about to talk about that in a second. And this month is Native American Heritage Month. And so Marvel is honoring that by doing a sequel to Marvel Voices, and it's Marvel Indigenous Voices, and it's actually headlined by Taboo, which Black Eyed Peas, Taboo, like, this is who that is. If you guys know Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas, he is
He's from the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, he's the rapper Taboo. He is not like previously his first comic is actually the Werewolf by Night.
Get out.
And that was kind of the thing is he is personally he is a member of that. His parents were born in Mexico, but his grandparents are actually native, and he is funding, kind of like producing this, but also writing Werewolf by Night, and then he does some stuff in here, and he actually saw, and I'm not going to tell you what he saw because it is a question later on in our thing, but he also he saw Reggie's work and was like, we got to do some stuff together, and this is it. And there's a great letter in here from him and the person that he's co-writing Werewolf by Night with.
Afterward. Mm-hmm. Super cool. And my favorite Indigenous voice cover, the Danny Moonstar, which we've had a lot of love for this week.
Yes. Joshua said Taboo came and showed him some love on Instagram when he posted the 1 in 50 variant. What? He's a dope soul and a very nice person.
And also, Joshua, I can't believe you got that 1 in 50.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. I have to go to your Instagram right now. I'm trying not to because I didn't actually know that you had it until you commented that.
Bro, he got it.
And now I got to go to
It was supposed to be the cover A of the 1 in 50 for Werewolf by Night, and we ordered it, and
poster,
then
right?
the poster, and then they changed it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Joshua, congratulations.
But Danny Moonstar here being awesome.
And this is actually the cover A of Indigenous Voices that kind of features some of those. And I do like that they say Indigenous and Native Voices because it's not necessarily the same thing. And I love that they kind of define that it's not an interchangeable word. Yes, tag me. I can't wait to see it.
Yes. We love that.
And in addition to that, Marvel re-released the Marvel Voices, and this is actually the expanded version. So if you previously bought Marvel Voices when it came out, which you probably didn't because it was underprinted in the spring when it came out right before COVID, and I know we got like a few copies, and I ended up selling the one that I had saved for myself because we didn't get enough. Because once people found out what it was, they were flocking to it. So if you guys probably did not get a copy, this is, and it's not even listed as a second print. It is a reprint. It is not listed as a
Right, but
second
it's
print
listed as a first print. But it has a
because
different
it's
cover.
an expanded version.
Yeah.
So this is like the director's cut. There's
this
actually
awesome Miles Morales cover.
there's articles in there from a bunch of people. And it has like it tells a story, and then it has a creator talking about like this is why Miles Morales was really important to me. There's a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur story, and then there's an article about why Moon Girl was impactful to certain creators. And so it's such a great and wonderful thing because we do talk about all of these different things. And there's even a story from Emma Frost in there, and I don't think this one gets recognized enough because it talks about how, as a female, she's not allowed, like, everybody thinks that she's flawless because, of course, the diamond thing, and how she's basically not allowed to have flaws. And so it's this whole commentary on how women are not allowed to have flaws and how they're supposed to be perfect at all times. And she's like, there's no such thing as perfection. And if you're looking at me and you're thinking I'm finely cut and there is no flaws, you're wrong because we all do, and it's not fair to judge somebody to a standard. But there's stories about Black Panther impacting people. There's stories about, like I said, about Miles. Stories about Moon Girl. If you guys did not, even if you got a copy of Marvel Voices #1 when it came out in February, you need this one because the articles in it, like we said for Watchmen, the supplemental stories at the back are what really make this new version of it. I love it. I love it so much, and I'm so thankful to Marvel, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in comic book news. I'm trying really hard not to go into this, but Marvel Voices, you guys need it. Lastly, I'm not allowed to read this because I really want to see the movie.
I saw the movie.
So you can tell them this is a girl walks home alone at night.
This is a girl walks home alone at night. It is kind of a comic book adaptation. It's kind of expanded.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of its own thing. It's got an amazing cardstock cover. Who put this out?
Behemoth, which is a totally other new one. I just saw this was in the back of the previews catalog, and I was like, that looks sick. And Matt was like, you've not seen the movie? And I was like, no.
And that said, I saw the movie at the Violet Crown, which, you know.
Right, because it's an Iranian movie.
It's an Iranian movie.
Sorry, that's a mispronunciation. Iranian.
Iranian movie.
I'm so sorry. It's
and
Iranian.
It stopped halfway through. The DVD that they had jittered and stopped. They literally had to take an intermission. And which was great because they sell craft drinks there, and so I was able to go get another craft drink and then come back into the theater.
Yes, but for my horror movie to stop halfway through is terrifying.
It's not really a horror movie. Okay. It's like a thriller kind of a thing. It's not that necessarily scary. It's kind of like existential dread.
And somebody told me
like an ice cream man. Sort of.
We were talking about this book / movie in the store the other day, and somebody said in Iran, as a woman, walking home at night in general alone would be a terrifying experience. So this is kind of also gives you that like same feeling of like what it's like in general to be a female walking home alone at night, except that it's not the female that has to worry about it. And I was like, don't tell me anymore. And so
yeah,
I was like, that's it. That's all you can say.
I know all the twist stuff that happens in it, and I don't want to say it because it's more fucked up than that.
Yeah,
but it's super cool.
Right.
I don't think it's streaming. It's streaming on Shudder.
Okay.
If you guys have Shudder, I canceled my Shudder account.
I'm very upset about that right now
because it kind of turned into a cluster sort of a thing. But I think Shudder is only like $4.99 a month. It's an Amazon add-in now. But this copy is really amazing. It's got a cardstock soft cover, and it is black and white.
Yes.
It is black and white, but it is like it's kind of Sin City black and white, where it's more inks than whites.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I read the first couple of pages and was like, okay, nothing's spoiled in that. I just wanted to see it.
Yes.
And then I stopped. Please, I don't want to see anything else.
It's an expanded from the movie.
And that's what they said. And it's the same writer of the screenplay. So it is the writer of the movie telling the story in an expanded form, which is what makes it cool.
I actually hope that this brings back some interest in the movie, because the movie was really cool. It came out slightly after the Babadook movie and then The Witch.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right. Don't even get me.
Right. We don't have time for The Witch.
New Mutants here really quick. Right. Really an Anya Taylor-Joy conversation.
Yeah.
But those definitely are the ones that you want to keep an eye on for movies.
Yes.
I know everybody likes It Follows Me or whatever the hell. I bought it and I was like, okay.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of CW movies or
Okay.
the CW shows.
Yeah.
And It Follows
Felt like that.
felt like that because it's a bunch of teenagers who are partying and they essentially
Got
get
it.
an STD.
Mm-hmm.
And the STD is
Oh,
the
when
thing that
it's just
follows
commentary
them.
on STDs following you.
Right,
Got
exactly. And so it's
I didn't see
okay. The soundtrack is amazing by Disaster Piece, but the movie is, compared to the Babadook and Girl Walks Home Alone at Night and The Witch and Trick or Treat, save it.
Yeah. Okay.
See those first.
Nigel, I got you. Even though you worded that terribly, he said he'll take a girl walks home at night,
Or
and
something.
said that comes out wrong.
Girl Walks
And Headley, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it so far because
Cool.
I know we ramble.
We do ramble.
Yeah.
So that's all of stuff that's in stock this week.
Except for trades.
We're gonna talk about some trades really quick.
Really quickly.
We're gonna actually try and get out of your hair in 17 minutes if we can.
We'll see if that happens.
Three Jokers came out. It's here. Yeah, they didn't wait. They didn't hang around. Nobody's hanging around. Again, we talked about the X of Swords thing. The trade is here. This is a nice hardcover. If you're looking for a nice Christmas gift, this is still sealed in its poly wrap and everything. I'm sure somebody will like that.
That's like way more time. But
I spent more time on it than I used to. AOC.
Yes, AOC and the Freshman Force. This is the trade of it. A lot of you asked me what AOC and the Freshman Force was. This is actually a trade version of it. It talks about all of the new female politicians of color who came into the House and Senate in the last election. It's a great book. It's just a bunch of one shots that really just highlight all of these women for being amazing and wonderful and accomplishing something. And it's a bunch of different creators coming together to do it. Again, another great Christmas gift.
Absolutely. And a super cool Christmas gift for somebody who's not a comic book reader but is a huge fan of the most amazing politician
ever. And No One's Rose. Speaking of things that you should give people who may or may not be into comics, this is a vault title. Once again, not really that long of a gap between the series ending. It ended like 3 weeks ago, maybe, and the trade is already out. But this is the story of a society where we live in a biodome bubble. I know you all are quoting Pauly Shore right now. Totally understandable. I do too.
Totally cool dudes.
Totally cool dudes. Squeezing the juice. So I'm not allowed to do Pauly Shore impersonations because I will never get off of them. But
it's like half our marriage.
It's true. But this is story. We live in a biodome, and we find out that the people who live on the top tier of the biodome mistreat the people who live on the bottom of it, and the people on the bottom have figured out that it is all a lie. It's terrible. It's a 5-part series, I believe it was, and it is so freaking good. I love this book. I don't usually order trades for the store immediately when they come out. I'm usually like, if somebody wants it, we'll order the trade. And I was like, No One's Rose is coming out in trade. We're getting it because the series was so good. Somebody needs to pick this up as a trade because I was surprised at how good it was. This is once again a vault title. And you can go back and watch all of the live streams where I talk about each of the issues because this book was so phenomenal. Surprisingly good. We've got a girl who believes the government because she just wants to, even though her dad was a political activist and the brother is a political activist, and she doesn't understand why he's trying to ruin her career as she tries to be a scientist and grow up. And she comes of age through the whole story, and it's 5 issues that you would think you read 20 of because there's so much that happens in it. Read it, buy it for somebody who needs something for Christmas. So good. I can't. I'll just talk about it for an hour, and you said I don't have that, so I'm gonna take it away.
Super cool book, bros.
And then I mentioned it, so I brought it with me. This is Peter David's Aquaman Time and Tide, featuring the character Kakuo, who we talked about earlier, who is an Inuit woman who loves Aquaman and has a child with him. This is by Peter David. This is actually on our half off box.
It's actually $5.
$5.
$5. So if you guys are interested in Peter David Aquaman, there it is. Bam.
I got you, Phil.
Phil, you will enjoy it. Bro.
It's really good. Seriously, our entire marriage is based on Pauly Shore references.
That's where we got
Right. So if you guys don't know, because you probably can't hear what Matt just said, we got married in the middle of Illinois, essentially. I don't know, probably
In a
still east.
cornfield.
In a cornfield or right by a cornfield. And the whole week, all I kept doing was going, Middle America, surfing the U.S. And like just quoting son-in-law the entire time. You don't, I don't know.
So
Guys, don't let
awesome.
me go places.
I was like, this is why we're getting married. This is fantastic. And when we go home, we're watching Son-in-Law.
Right, and we
a
did.
married couple. And we did.
And we did.
We did, and it was awesome.
Right.
It was super awesome. It was like, seriously, like 2 nights after.
Yeah, I had a 90s Pauly Shore problem, guys. I could reenact all of Encino Man for you right now if we didn't have a limited amount of time.
It's true. Let's give these people something for hanging around and listening to our spiel.
So I'm going to give you 2 things.
These prizes get better as the stream goes
on. It
does.
It's for hanging in with us for this long. So I'm going to give you a copy of Wetworks number 1, which doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but actually, Wetworks actually features 3 native/indigenous people in its series. Over the course of time, there are actually multiple members of the Wetworks cast that are indigenous. I'm also going to throw in this Deadpool poster because you guys don't probably care about Wetworks as much as you should based off what I just said. So here's a poster of Deadpool, being proud of Deadpool, because that's what Deadpool does. And since we just brought her up, name 3 aliases Danny Moonstar is known for using.
Oh.
Yeah, and you get this Wetworks number 1, and I love that it just has the image. It doesn't have the like Wildstorm thing. I didn't realize that he didn't put his like logo on this. But anyway, you get this Wetworks number 1 and Deadpool poster. If you can tell me 3 aliases Danny Moonstar is known for using. You don't have to get all of them. You just have to be the first to give me 3. So
yeah.
Oh, apparently Nigel bailed on us and then came back. So thanks for coming back, Nigel.
Right.
Right. I don't know what that's about, but
he had to go type a letter.
Right, on his typewriter. Which, were you here when we even gave you a shout out for being awesome?
He did. He said, okay. Love you guys.
Okay, cool.
We love you too, Nigel.
I'm not counting Valkyrie, you guys. I'm technically not counting that. She was a Valkyrie, but I'm not counting that as one of her names. So I will count that, yes. But you are. Ooh, yes, technically Joshua, yes.
Nailed this.
You got it. What?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did he say?
And Saya will throw a prize at you too. I have another Deadpool poster that I know you guys will want. But yes, she has been known as Spellbinder and Dark Raider and Moonstar and I didn't put the E on that, but like Psyche, Mirage, and so she's had multiple names. Joshua, I'm gonna throw this your way. BJ and Saya will throw a poster of Deadpool at you because I know you guys, that's the part that you care the most about for sure. So I will definitely give you guys a Deadpool poster.
Awesome.
For all being there because she was technically a Valkyrie, but she is not
Valkyrie.
Right. She's not actually like Marvel does not count Valkyrie as one of her aliases.
Right.
So anyway.
But Psyche, Mirage, Spellbinder.
Yeah. Mirage, Spellbinder, Dark Raider, and Moonstar were technically the ones that Marvel counts as her things. Anyway, go for it.
Talk about some keys really quick. I know you guys like what's new in keys. I'm actually going to mention some of the collectible first and talk about that. We've got a bunch of incentives. So incentive variants and Bat City Comic Professionals, we don't necessarily, as you know, we're a small store, so we don't always get a lot of incentive variants. I had a customer asking me today if we got the 1 in 450 variant.
Oh my god.
Of 3 Jokers.
No. We're also not getting that 1 in 500 of Donnie drawing on King of Black. That's not happening.
I know. I'd really like one, but at the same time, it's not going to happen. I think it's superior to his Absolute Carnage, and
Absolutely.
I bought that one. Totally got that. But at the same time, there are like 3, maybe 4 retailers in America who are going to get those. Those are seriously like print runs of maybe 10.
Right.
You know? based off an initial order where people initially order that many, but then they don't get them.
Right.
Or there are stores like a Dragon's Lair where there's like 4 different properties and each of them orders 100.
And then one of the stores get that. Yeah.
And one of them gets the 1 in 400 variant, 1 in 500 variant. Seriously, those sort of things are not going to happen here. I'm sorry. But we do get
we're
things
a
like
nonprofit, guys.
we're a nonprofit. Seriously, the whole point of this, we're volunteering. We're not getting paid.
Right, we don't pay
here.
ourselves. We pay to be here, actually.
Yeah, we actually pay more money to do this than anything else, and it's fun. It's a passion project for us. It's like, where do you guys want to put your money? We want to put our money into this because it's fun to have this place. It's fun to have you guys come in and be able to get all the stuff that you guys want. It's fun to curate the back stock. Like, that is a great, super fun hobby. And if you guys want to play with comics too, you can come over and play comic book store anytime you want at the store, and we would love to have you volunteer with us because we're all volunteering together to support these educational goals and to get kids to read again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they love it.
Make kids read again could be on a blue hat that we could sell because that's kind of how this whole mission is. We really need to do that. We have to get kids to read these days. Kids are on their iPads so much, and it's important. Anyway. We get small numbers of comics, but we do get 1 in 10s. We occasionally get 1 in 25s, especially of the bigger issues. We have the Department of Truth #2. This is the 1 in 10 variant of Department of Truth #2, which is crazy. The Satanic Panic issue and corresponding cover. We got a crossover 1 in 10 variant, supporting our homie. Neat cover too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neat cover. We got the Thor. What is this? Thor #9. This is brand new. Let's go with 8 first. Right. We got Thor #8, 1 in 25 variant. We have of all of our subscribers, like everybody gets Thor.
Everybody gets Thor.
Everybody gets Thor.
And we don't have the Jane Foster Valkyrie Phoenix cover anymore because I bought the last one.
Nice.
That's Jenny Frizen. It's beautiful. I want to cosplay that, and I don't even ever want to make a cosplay ever again, but Absolutely. I do want to make that one.
Absolutely. This is the #9 1 in 25 variant of Thor, which we also have in stock. Venom #29 1 in 25. There's that guy. Super sweet Stegman sketch cover. This is the Power Rangers. There is Mighty Morphin and there is Power Rangers. I believe this is Power Rangers.
Oh, I don't know. I'm wrong then.
We sold the Mighty Morphin one, but this is Power Rangers. So they're doing Mighty Morphin now, and then Power Rangers is 2 separate titles, kind of like House of X, Powers of X. Mm-hmm. Mighty Morphin #1, Power Rangers #1. This is the Power Rangers #1, 1 per store.
And much like Hawks, you have to read both.
Yes.
To get the complete story.
Absolutely. Even Power Rangers has gone to legacy number in the same way that Marvel has, and so each one is like Power Rangers ended on 55. Mighty Morphin is legacy number 56.
Power Rangers is 57.
Power Rangers 57. This is the 1 per store of that, which is cool and a cool gift for the Power Rangers fan in your life. This is the Department of Truth 1 in 10, 25, whatever you want to call it, secret variant, which Image has been doing secret variants lately, which are super neat.
Right, and they're like 1 in 5s.
This one we didn't get that many.
No, but I think the crossover one was like 1 in 5, I think. No? Was it 1 in 15? It was weird number.
We got 30 copies of crossover in, and we got 2 of them.
Okay, so yeah, 1 in 15. They're like 1 in 15.
Yeah, absolutely. And this probably was too because we got 100. No, we got 130 of this. I think because
somebody ordered 100, not because
we had a customer order 100.
Yeah,
which is not a. If you guys do want to order up on order to get okay, we're getting this many of something, I want to order this many to get an incentive variant, we can give you a hella good discount.
Yeah,
to get that. Right. That is the biggest discount you can get here at the store if you order up to an incentive variant, and then you pay cover price for your incentive variant.
And what he means by up to is if like we ordered 20 and there's a 1 in 50, if you order 30, you can get the 1 in 50 kind of thing.
Wait, 20? Oh, if we order 20,
20, you order 30,
you
you
order
get the
30.
1 in 50 because we didn't order the
Exactly.
majority.
That's something to send us a message about or give us a phone call and we will hook you up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you get a bigger discount on those issues. This is a store variant for What If Peter Parker Became the Punisher. It is a store variant of IG Comics Store. It actually has the cert on the back, which is super neat. We get a lot of love for this in the store. A lot of people talk about this.
Yeah.
Super cool. Death Metal 5 just came out this week. We have Death Metal 4's 1 in 25, which is awesome. No, it's Dark Knight's Death Metal number 4.
Wasn't it right after? No, but I mean, like, wasn't it supposed to be like a tie-in to Speed Metal? Like that
Right,
was a tie-in issue.
Speed Metal was this tie-in that came out the following week. This is the 1 in 25, and it's got this awesome Wally West playing the drums. It looks like the meme of the rock stars holding slugs instead of guitars. Whoa. Super awesome. So those are some of the incentives that we do have in stock. We get some from time to time.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times they go on our eBay page too, because that's a great way to raise money for the scholarship program and things like that. Which, if you want to find us on eBay, it's Bat City Comic Professionals, one word. Type that in, and it'll say search for user. Click that. You can follow along there. We got a couple of cool Justice League issues in from the New 52 because there were a lot of keys. Jeff Johns was writing it. Gary Frank did art. Doug Mankey did art. Fabuk did art, who's actually doing a signing right now for CGC with Jeff Johns. This is the first appearance of the Shazam family, which is supposed to come in Shazam 2.
Yeah. I mean, they were in Shazam 1.
They're in Shazam 1, but it's not the same
like,
one.
Right.
This Shazam family that happens in this is now supposed to come in 2.
Cool.
So collectors
this is
blowing
rising
up about this issue. Right, exactly. Now is the time to buy in on this issue.
Right.
Before it turns into a $50 issue.
Yes.
Jessica Cruz is announced for the new Green Lantern show. This is not that.
Oh, okay.
This is this.
Got it.
Jessica Cruz has been announced for the Green Lantern show on HBO Max. This is her first cameo appearance.
Okay, Jessica Cruz is announced for the show on HBO Max, but let's talk about the fact that she's already on DC Superhero Girls, and you should be specking on the best show on cartoon form like ever.
Yeah, if you haven't watched DC Superhero Girls, you need to get on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in here and you talk to me about what happened on Stargirl, but you can't tell me about what happened on DC Superhero Girls, I'm going to be like, there's the door.
He's not going to say that, but he's going to turn it on Netflix and make you watch it.
Exactly. DC Superhero Girls is an amazing show. And if you think it's for girls, you're wrong. And get bent.
And if you think that it's for girls and that's a problem, get bent.
Get bent.
Because...
Get bent. Also, you're missing it.
Right. It's so good.
You're missing it. I'm not a DC fan. I came in, I started as a DC fan. DC has wronged me. DC in 2020 has hurt me more than the year 2020 has hurt me. DC is the worst company that I've ever had to deal with in my entire fucking life. I fucking hate DC right now. Sorry if you love them. But DC Superhero Girls is amazing.
It's true. I love DC Superhero Girls. I have shown, like, the most hardcore of fans, whatever your fandom within DC is, I have shown that, like, we have a huge Green Lantern fan, and I showed him the episode where Star Sapphire shows up, and she's mad at Hal because he broke up with her over a text message, and he's like, this is the best characterization of these people, and so it's so good. And
it's almost satire on all of the characters.
On all of them, mm-hmm. And yet not at the same time. It's such a good, like, I love Jessica wanting to be friends with Poison Ivy because they both just want to save the world and they both are vegan and they're both all this. And she's like, I don't understand why we're not friends. And she's like, we're not friends. I don't like people. I only like plants. And Jessica's like, we love plants together. We love plants. Let's be friends. And
it's Teen Titans Go. Really, it's the same humor as Teen Titans Go.
There are no fart jokes.
There's no fart jokes. It's almost more sophisticated humor than Teen Titans Go. If you're looking for a more adult
version of Teen Titans Go, this is it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that same kind of humor.
Yeah.
That same kind of like in your face, especially the second series of it.
Oh my God. But yeah, the new series that's on Netflix. If you guys haven't watched it, watch that. It's so
Get
good.
on that. Get on that. Turn your little Mandalorian off, and get
Right.
over to the
Right. Women
to
talk
DC
to each other
Superheroes.
on DC Superheroes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of women in comics, this is the first appearance of Darkseid's daughter, Grail. This is Justice League number 40.
Who was really big in the Wonder Woman saga that came out for Rebirth. She was a very big character in Rebirth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and she is supposed to be coming soon in a lot of different series.
Oh, interesting.
So this book is blowing up right now online. And again, another good time to buy in. This is the final Power Girl issue. It was in Power Girl number 27 and is the first time Warren Lau did a cover for any major publisher, which Warren Lau has done some amazing covers recently. And this is his Power Girl cover. This book is blowing up. CGC 98 of this book is like $300.
Yeah.
Which, if y'all don't buy it, I'm just going to CGC it and sell it for the scholarship program.
Right. And Renee made a big distinction. It is AT&T, not DC, that's wronged you this year.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's coming out under the name DC.
Yeah. Jim Lee has not wronged me.
And it is a pain in the ass to get the comics.
Yeah.
And it is a pain in the ass for us to know if our order went through or if they're coming or, you know, I assume that one of these weeks we're going to say, hey, sorry guys, we don't have DC Comics because we got screwed.
Very soon, actually.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm sorry in advance.
It's going to happen. And yeah, sorry, you know, 1 week we're not going to have DC Comics. And that is the week that we hope that you will try a Marvel comic if you don't already.
We will gladly suggest something to you from an indie or a Marvel title that does fit into the same world as DC if you need it.
Whole point of this show. Anyway, this book is massive, massive right now. Key collector high on this book is $125.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got it, and if y'all don't buy it, it's going to CGC.
Right, right. Sai said, send it off for scholarships. Don't let people buy it. And Cameron said, holy crap, I can't. That Power Girl is awesome.
Yes, yes. Cameron is a big Warren Lau fan. We
yes.
talked about it before in shop. There are the whole recount thing going on. We've got this Amazing Spider-Man. Which number is this? 583? This is the one y'all are looking for. This is the Inauguration Day variant.
What printing is that?
It's the first printing.
Okay.
It's the first printing and the Inauguration Day variant that has the banner on it.
And we have different printings of it
we have
too for cheaper.
Second printings, third printings, fourth printings. There might even be a fifth printing. They ended up on the second printing putting an American flag in the background of this and removing the banner. And then they changed the background color.
Got it. Yeah.
So
there's a yellow background on
the yellow
fourth,
background is second.
Second? Okay.
Yeah. And then fourth is green. Okay. It's like a pale green. This is the super exclusive one though with the inauguration. And I believe Nigel donated this. So Nigel, if you're still watching, thanks man. Thanks for your donation. Because this is super cool.
Was it Nigel or Greg? I don't know. Sometime that weekend.
One of them.
Joshua also said CGC that book, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That book is insane right now. One per stores. We don't talk about one per stores. We mentioned it with the Power Rangers, but you guys, everybody's been reading Wind. We do have Wind one per stores for 3, 4, and 5 still. This is number 3, and they're the Virgin trade dress at the cover ace. These are super cool. If you guys are a fan of that series,
which you should be.
Which should be, yeah. If you're missing it, you screwed up. And you know, when that trade comes, that's one that we're not going to have a something's killing the children situation with.
Yeah, Nigel said it was definitely not him because he wants to get it.
Oh.
He's thinking about it.
Okay.
Right, I think it.
Sweet, it must have been great.
Right.
Thank you for your donation. Yeah, one per story is a Wind. If you love this series, these are going to be super exclusive and rare when the inevitable show happens.
100%. Everything Boom turns into a show.
We talk about one per stores. One per stores go out to everyone who has a diamond account, and there are 3,400 diamond accounts
that ordered the book. You don't get one per stores if you didn't order the book.
If you didn't order the book. So of the 3,400 diamond accounts that exist, how many actually ordered the book? 3,000? So this is like a print run of 3,000 essentially. So one per stores. That's why one per stores get collectibles, because the print run is super low. That Warren Lau Power Girl that we were just talking about, the print row is 16,000 on it.
Yeah.
Which is considered super low as it is. A one per store is only going to be about 3,000. Mm-hmm. So even that said, that's still like, 20% of what that Power Girl is. That's insane. And so one per stores of something like Win that end up becoming properties, inevitably as they will, are definitely going to shoot up. And our final one is an Infinity Gauntlet #1 of the second series with female number. I think it's second series. It might be the third. This is the 1 in 25.
It's the new Secret Wars connecting.
There you go. With female Nova, who's super awesome.
Yeah.
Super awesome character. Yeah, awesome, super awesome cover. Does the gal come with the book if I buy it? Okay. Right, everybody loves Power Girl. Giveaway. Let's give you guys some stuff. Oh my god, we're gonna give one of these away.
We're gonna give one of these away.
Holy cow! Here is that new Marvel Voices comic. Brand new.
Yes.
Came out this week, and we're gonna give it to you. Why isn't this the final prize? This is a great.
Because the final prize is like huge. So Jeffrey Veregi, who is the mastermind with Taboo behind all of this, and all of those amazing, gorgeous covers. Jeffrey Veregi had a 15-month gallery show at the Smithsonian in 2018, which is actually how Taboo found out about him.
Wow.
What was the theme of that show?
I feel like if they know this, they already have this book.
You probably do, which means that you're going to have to Google Jeffrey Veregi's Smithsonian 2018 show and learn something new, because you should be learning about these indigenous and native creators and voices that are happening, which is the whole point of all of my questions, because whether or not you know about them already, time to learn. So if you want this copy of Marvel Voices, you will figure out what the theme of Jeffrey Veregi's 15-month gallery, that is huge, by the way.
15 months.
To have a gallery show at the Smithsonian is already a big deal, but to have a 15-month-long gallery show
over
at the
a year,
that's insane. So Reggie had one. It had a theme. That theme was focused on a thing. Tell me what that is. You get this comic, which came out this week.
Brand new comic.
Right now, for free.
Brand new comic.
Somebody answered, and it has popped up on. Yes, Of Gods and Heroes was the theme of that. Yes,
Guillermo.
This is all you, buddy. And that was the reason it caught Taboo's attention, is it was called Of Gods and Heroes, but it only featured Marvel characters. And so when Taboo was wanted to make Werewolf by Night for the 3rd volume, which again, this is Taboo of the Black Eyed Peas, was like, I want to make a indigenous voices Werewolf by Night, was like, I'm going to call up that guy that had that Smithsonian show. We're going to work together. This is going to be extraordinary. And then was like, we're going to do this indigenous voices, Native American story telling experience. I want him on this. I want him on and all over it. And
so awesome.
It's such a beautiful way for that whole thing to come together. And I love that story so much, because it's such a good story, and it is so great that Marvel gave them this moment to shine and made this incredible Reggie experience for us all, because his covers are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And those characters deserve a highlight, because they don't ever get one.
Absolutely, and there's so many of them, and they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're awesome characters. Well, anyway, Guillermo, congrats.
Yeah.
$1 book club tomorrow night is
Storm and Ileana.
Magic.
It's Magic #1.
Which brings us to an important point that we want to put out. There's the whole segment that we do on comic book news and things, but I'm going to throw this in right now. New Mutants has dropped. New Mutants is on DVD and Blu-ray and 4K and supposedly impossible to find Steelbook. It's amazing. Please go see New Mutants if you did not. I was brought to my attention today that there was not an MCU movie this year, but there was New Mutants, and New Mutants is just as good, if not better, in my personal opinion. It is absolutely astounding. And if you haven't seen it, please do whatever you can to get that movie. Red box it. I've heard it's in all the red boxes. See New Mutants. And that said, to tie that in, Anya Taylor-Joy is amazing in New Mutants. We laugh all the time that Henry Cavill was born in a test tube just to be Superman. Anya Taylor-Joy was probably made in a test tube to be Magic.
It's true. It's 100% true. You need this.
We're done here in 5 minutes.
Right, you need it anyway. It's gonna.
So there you go.
Yeah.
See New Mutants, and if you've already seen New Mutants and you loved it, watch The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, she's so good in that.
She is amazing in The Queen's Gambit. I don't want to see one more post from any of you talking about how great The Mandalorian is if you haven't watched The Queen's Gambit. I said it. I said it on the live stream. I've watched The Mandalorian. It's okay. It's good. It's not The Queen's Gambit. It's not. If you are watching The Mandalorian and you haven't seen The Queen's Gambit, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time with The Mandalorian by not watching The Queen's Gambit. So until you've seen The Queen's Gambit, don't even watch The Mandalorian. No.
They are completely different properties. There's nothing nerdy. I mean, that is essentially the most nerdy of all nerdy things to watch The Queen's Gambit because
Yes,
it's about chess.
It's about chess.
But it is not a pop culture property. So if you're only in it for the pop culture-ness, then yes, The Mandalorian will interest you more. But The Queen's Gambit is going to win all of the awards next year, and if you want to know why, you should watch it now.
It's 6 episodes. They're an hour and a half to an hour long, something like that. Again, don't come in here and tell me, oh my god, you see The Mandalorian if you haven't watched it, because I don't even want to have a conversation with you.
And The Queen's Gambit has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
100%,
which I've never in my
Rotten
life heard of.
Tomatoes.
I didn't know
And
that was possible.
it 100% deserves it.
Yes.
It 110% deserves it. We have mentioned The Witch tonight. We've mentioned New Mutants tonight.
And the common thread in all of that is that Anya Taylor-Joy is perfect.
She's perfect. She's absolutely wonderful. All three of those, she is a completely different character. You almost think that it's a different actor. You're so lost in that character. You can't, you're like blinders on to it being an actress at all. It's like, no, that is that character. They were resurrected out of the property and made to act in the thing as themselves.
Yes. BJ also said Maisie, Anya, and Blue are great in New Mutants and wants all three of them to keep playing those roles. I think Maisie Williams doesn't get enough credit for her role as Rain. I don't think anybody talks about that enough, but she nails Rain as well and was really, really good. And there are a lot of once again, emotional moments with like Rain playing, like the way Maisie plays Rain, that's really good. And and Blue, who did Danny Moonstar, is also really, really good. And I definitely think, Disney, you're not listening, but you're always listening because you have more lawyers on the internet watching our live stream right now than anybody else does. So keep them in the movies, bring them into the MCU. Don't be dumb. This is the first time your characterization on a Fox property has been flawless. Just keep it.
If you guys didn't see New Mutants because you heard that it sucked or whatever, you totally don't listen to any of them. Don't listen to any of them. This is what we read in comic books. This is characters. This is conversations. This is real world issues. It is playing with the medium and the genre and making something amazing happen out of that. It's not Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Right.
It's not fighting aliens in space. It's not Robert Downey Jr. yelling at you. It is awesome. It is great, and it's great in a totally different way from normal comic book movies.
BJ said that Maisie is perfect in all caps as Rain Sinclair, and I think that is totally true.
Yeah, I thought all of them are perfect.
They were so good.
All perfect.
So good. It was such a good cast, and to watch that many ladies on screen kick ass, like after coming out of all of the superhero movies that don't really give any ladies attention, and then when we do get lady movies, there's like, we have Wonder Woman, and like Edda's out of the movie like almost instantly, so it's just like she's the only female in the movie.
Yeah.
And then we have Captain Marvel, and there's not enough Monica Rambeau ever. There's a good amount in the second half of the movie, so we started to move towards that. It was like Wonder Woman started in it. It was like, okay, we got to get rid of the one. We can only have the one female, so get rid. And then Captain Marvel comes in, and they're like, oh, we can have two females and a kid, and they can all.
I don't even remember Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's there in the second half, and it's like they do a great job. And then New Mutants they were like, okay, well now that those two have done that, let's just put it almost entirely female, and the boys are just there kind of sometimes.
They're there too.
And they don't really do as much as the girls do.
And I didn't think about any of these things because I am a guy. I guess I'm just watching the movie
Yeah.
and I'm letting the story wash over
Right, and
me.
it's so good. I'm
And
thinking about
it's,
this post talking about it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
just watching the movie, I'm like, okay, there's 5 people. 3 of them are girls, 2 of them are guys, whatever. And there's a female doctor, okay, and that's like the entire
The
cast of the
entire cast.
movie.
The only
There
other person to get credit is the dad.
is the dad who is in flashback scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's not really anyone else in this movie. Characterization is deep. You get so much of a story. I honestly, I went in, I don't know the New Mutants. I went in, had no idea who these characters were, researched them after the fact, and then, of course, saw the movie again and love them, love them, love them. But going in as a newbie and seeing them love the characterization of the 5 of them, and they all kind of don't like each other. And, of course, the arc of the film brings their friendships together as well as brings their powers because they're new mutants, brings their powers out. And so we see an arc of not only character development, not only powers, but of a film as a whole. And that's how a film should be. It
Yeah.
introduces you to things, and then things happen, and you are along on the adventure, and you make friends as you go. And
Yeah.
it's done perfectly.
This is a solid fact from Nigel. They dropped the ball in merchandising because we should all have Lockheed plushes right now. I want it. And there are like subsequent comments after this agreeing with you, Nigel.
Yes.
But yes, that it is. That is. I'm going to say that is a product of the merger. Which, if you guys didn't catch on, so 2018 was when this movie was actually supposed to drop, and that was when the merger happened between Disney and Fox. And this movie has been in limbo, no pun intended for the Magic fans out there, but this movie has been in limbo for the last 2 years. Things have changed, things have not changed. Finally, we were supposed to it was supposed to release earlier this year, and then COVID hit. It was supposed to come out in April. All of the ad stuff actually still says April everywhere if you look it up. And it didn't drop because of COVID. And then it was like Tenet came out back at movie theaters because they were like, well, if Christopher Nolan can't get people to the theater, then nobody's gonna get people to the theater. And it did okay. And Marvel and Disney was like, you know what? Like, we don't really care if this movie does well or not because we didn't spend the money on it. We didn't pay for this movie. So let's just release it. We're not even going to talk. Like, we're going to show the same ads we've been showing. We're just going to say, hey, it's out now. Why don't you go see it? They're not going to put anything into it because at this point, they have not put any money into it. It's not a loss for Disney either way. And so they dropped into the theaters, and whatever it did, it did. And so there wasn't a big, like, hey, by the way, this is what this movie ended up as. Because Disney didn't want to put the money into remarketing what the movie was, because that would be a loss for them if it didn't do well during COVID. So they just didn't put the money into it. And I feel like that shows by how many people are like, I have no idea. It didn't really interest me. I saw the trailer like a year ago, and
4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Right, and it's
Fuck
like
off.
It's not actually like a good representation of the movie, but everybody who's seen it, whether it was in theaters since COVID times, or like Sai pointed out, it's streaming and it's on DVD. Like, people who've come in who have seen it streaming and DVD, nobody has been disappointed. There's been like, oh, I could have done without this, but nobody is. But overall, the movie was amazing. We've had people in the store who say this is my favorite of the X-Men movies. This is my favorite.
Consistently.
Like, consistently, people are saying like this is my favorite just overall, because you don't have to know anything going into it, and it's still a good movie.
And that's what works for a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great point. Is that if you don't know anything about it going in, if you're not an avid comic book reader, you can still get it. Batman versus Superman is fan service.
Right, you don't get that. When extended or not, you don't get it unless you already know Earth One and all of those stories.
And the theatrical version of Batman versus Superman, you would only get if you've read all of the comics.
Right.
And you're like, oh, they threw all these elements in. I see where it all comes from. I like the characterization of this and this and this. And the extended, you're like, oh, okay, this is a movie that makes sense. But otherwise...
And then, like, with the MCU, I was like, hey, Winter Soldier is one of my favorites. And I tried to show you that after watching Captain America. And you were like, wait, Black Widow's a bad guy. And I was like, no, she's been in you haven't seen all those. And this was, of course, a couple of years ago. But I was like, you didn't know. Like, you didn't understand anything because you had to have already seen all of the non-Captain America movies to get where we were at that point. And so
And those
many of,
Iron Man movies blew.
right, you didn't like any
All
of
of
them.
them.
And so it was like there wasn't those kinds of movies are all in these worlds that have already built, and you, like your favorite MCU movies are the ones that don't need something like Captain America and Thor and Black
And don't
Panther.
have crappy AC/DC soundtracks.
Right, but like just in general, the ones
Yeah.
that stand alone that don't need anything else, like those are the
Yeah.
ones you love. And so with New Mutants, it has that. It has that you don't have to know these characters. Even if you've never read a comic book, you could go into this and it's a movie solid to watch.
Yes. 100%. More than any other comic book movie I've seen. Because even Watchmen, when I read Watchmen when I was in high school, and I got kind of bored with it because it was a little too heavy
It
for a
was
high
too
school
much for a
kid.
high school
Yeah,
kid.
and so I put it down. And then when I went and saw the movie, I was like, I remember these characters, but I don't really know what's going on, and the movie's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And then I read the book, and then I rewatched the movie and was like, oh man, this is just the book, but with scenes missing.
Right.
And I love that movie. I freaking love the Watchmen movie now, but this movie has definitely dropped into my top 5 comic book movies, comic book adaptation movies, because it was able to do that. Exactly as you said, like I don't know anything about it, but at the same time, I can learn everything, and I know everything that's going on, and the story's strong, and I like the characters, and
right.
I can identify with them, and I feel like they're friends now by the end of it.
And I think that is, and no offense to people who judge, and yet all of the offense. If you judge young adult fiction, I actually do mean it offensively because I am a young adult writer and reader, and so I am going to be slightly offended by the fact of this. But there is a thing that there's the stigma that young adult characters and young adult stories are terrible automatically just because they're young adult, and I actually take that back and do mean full offense if you are against young adult. But the thing about it is that a lot of people were like, I didn't like this because it was too young adult. There were so many people whose initial reviews were, I didn't like this because it was just one of those teenage stories. I didn't like this. It felt like a young adult book. But you know what? Every young adult book I've ever read, and you can testify to this in the years that we've been together, I come out and I say, I miss my friends when the book is over. Like 3 days later, I'm like, I miss my friends. And you're like, your friends? And I'm like, these fake people that I read about in a book. Because young adult fiction is so good at developing, because it is about developing who you are as a person, that you do feel like they're a friend at the end. And New Mutants capitalizes on that feeling because it does do that. They are coming into who they are as a person at the same time that you're learning about them. So when you walk away from them, you're like, wait, no, those were my friends because we grew up together.
And that is why all of you are saying, I really wish I could see Moonstar. I really wish I could see Wolfsbane. I really wish I could see Magic in the MCU. Because we don't want to say goodbye to them yet.
Right, we're not
The movie
ready.
ends and we're like, what about their continued adventures? I want all of their continued adventures. The movie does that great of a job with that.
Yes.
And that is not something that we get. When I see Robert Downey Jr. act as Iron Man, I want him to blow up in the Iron Man suit and never ever see him ever again because he's such a fucking worthless piece of shit. Because fuck that guy. The only thing the only thing he taught us is fuck you, you fucking worthless piece. Anyway, the New Mutants definitely though are like, I want to keep seeing them on screen and they're awesome. And that said,
our book club is about magic this
our
week.
book club is about magic this week, and we are going to talk about this book. This is Storm and Ileana Magic. It is the origin of magic, and I'm excited about it. I'm so excited about it. And if you have the time between now and fucking 20 hours from now, download New Mutants, watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Watch it so that we at least kind of have that to you to.
But we will definitely be talking about this book, and we do still have copies in the store if you need to stop by tomorrow and pick it up before book club, which is at 8:30 on Zoom.
Yes.
So really, you only have to leave your house to get the book if you don't already have it. This is a $1 reprint, which is what our book club is all about. If you guys don't know, our book club is the feature of the True Believers, the DC Dollar comics, the Image First, the Vault reprints, the Diamond Dollar, whatever you want to call them.
$1 reprints of classic
$1
issues.
reprints of classic issues. I'm very excited about this. This was released in connection with the movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to get to do this issue. Um, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I know you guys are all Storm fans. There's nobody in this world that's not a Storm fan. I've never met somebody who said I just don't like Storm. Um, but I'm very, very excited about having this conversation about this because I haven't read enough Magic or New Mutants to be the expert, but I know a lot of our book club members are, so I'm really excited to hear how this impacts the people who are just coming into it for the first time versus how a reread of it impacts the people who know everything about them, which is my favorite thing about book club in general. Yes, I actually agree. BJ said he hopes the new Deadpool, because they have already said that the MCU is going to fold in a Deadpool 3 movie and it's going to happen, and hopefully we will get Anya as Magic coming in, because if anybody can work the New Mutants in, because it was a part of the Fox world,
Yeah.
so it was already a part of the Deadpool thing. There's actually the in credit scene on Deadpool 3 or Deadpool 2 was supposed to be, of course, or was supposed to lead towards that, and we I'm sorry, I got distracted by BJ's comment. But yeah, it was all the Deadpool movies were supposed to be a lead in to the New Mutants. They had the end credit scenes that kind of builds up New Mutants. So hopefully, with Disney bringing Deadpool into it, he can also bring in the New Mutants thing, because he can make the jokes about how Fox was a thing. And like, there's already the joke in Deadpool 1 when they say we're going to take you to see the professor, and he says Stewart or McAvoy. These timelines are so confusing, because Deadpool can break the fourth wall. So there's nobody better to bring in the characters than Deadpool.
Makes sense.
Right. You can't handle Deadpool.
I can't
I
handle
know you don't like Ryan Reynolds. I know.
and even that joke's not funny. I'm like stick in your freaking medium. I don't
right.
like.
Deadpool breaks
I
fourth
don't
wall.
like
You don't
funny.
like that. Right.
I don't like funny. Superheroes aren't funny. Superheroes are serious and they say something about the world. Personal opinion. Personal opinion.
Right.
Once they're funny, I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. Shut the hell up, Paul Rudd. I don't want to hear it.
I love Paul Rudd. So
love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd fan. He's great. Don't want him in my superhero movies.
Right. I want Paul Rudd to be my best friend, so ignore everything he just said. Please come be my friend, Paul Rudd.
It's the dynamic that makes these kind of shows interesting.
Please be my friend, Paul Rudd. We can talk about not aging.
Absolutely. And Paul Rudd, if you do come, I have a lot of Halloween 6 questions for you.
Yes. Oh my god.
I have a lot of Halloween 6
questions.
questions.
What a great introduction
and
of Paul
40-year-old virgin questions. I have no problem with comedy. I just don't want to have my superheroes.
And Knocked Up. And This Is 40. I love you, Paul Rudd. Don't listen to Matt.
I haven't seen This Is 40 yet. I want to.
We need to see that.
I like Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man. Every woman ever identifies with that moment.
We're going to give you next week's book, Invincible.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman. New show coming out. 1 week from tomorrow, we're going to do Invincible. And we're going to talk about that. And bam.
Also, surprise book club members, your book next week is Invincible.
Your book next week is Invincible.
Yeah.
We haven't had a book chosen yet. We were like, what books do we have? This is also a free comic book day book, so a lot of you guys may have it already, free comic book day version. Gonna throw it out there. So it's actually kind of like free book club.
Yeah.
So.
Oh shit. James Proudstar first appeared as what character and in what issue? And that is a trick fucking question, because he is known more specifically for a different question. But what was James Proudstar first called in his first appearance, and what character did he first appear as, and in what issue?
And you will get this copy of Invincible.
And you will get this copy of Invincible. And Matt's big rant that he just went on is definitely a connector. Guillermo, you don't want him to answer that question. We don't have enough live stream time for Matt to answer that question, for one. And for two, we just don't want him to.
My favorite.
Right. Not his superhero.
I'm a Daredevil guy. Spider-Man's not a spider.
Right. Spider-Man's not a spider. You do have a very big
Spider-Man is a bug man.
Yes, BJ. He was Thunderbird, and he came out in New Mutants number 16.
BJ's like, man, I got this.
Right. This is your thing, BJ. I feel like we unfairly made this for you today.
I'm glad that New Mutants came out so that you could finally see it.
I know, and to have such a positive feeling for it also makes me feel like our opinion was right. Um,
Guillermo, most of your books are done too. I just have that last Spawn book to do, so come pick up your books this week and we will talk about Spider
yeah.
Man. Yes. I love Miles Morales.
Right, Miles is great,
He's a great
and
kid.
Gwen is great.
He's a great kid. I don't want to read about him, but he's a great kid. Industry news, we don't have any.
I do too. That is a lie. Phil said Matt told him that Spider-Man is his favorite, and he loves the web shooter specifically. Phil, you are a liar.
You're a funny man, Phil. You're a funny man.
That's the last time we take you somewhere fun, Phil.
Name's fucking Spider-Man and you don't shoot webs out of your hands? What the hell's fucking wrong with you? You just sit around and talk, make jokes all day, but you can't even shoot fucking webs because you're not Spider-Man.
We don't have time for
you
this.
just made a cute fucking costume.
There is actually in what was it, the Halloween
fucking cockroach. Cockroaches climb up walls.
What was the book, the junior high horror book? And they made the joke of a boy getting bit by a radioactive spider, and then he shoots webs out of his butt, and you were like, "This guy's Spider-Man."
Yes.
You were like,
and he's like, "I'm so terrible, kill me now!" And he's got 8 legs, and he's like maldeformed.
You were so mad. You were like, "This is great."
Yes. He's pooping spider webs, and like, this is what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man's a fucking bug man.
Yeah.
You can walk up walls, and you have spider sense. When a fucking spider walks over here, is it like, oh, there is a giant creature there?
Yes,
I need to freaking run. They have like crazy.
They do actually have spider senses. That is a thing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I bet cockroaches do too, and that's why they fucking run from me. Okay.
Maybe.
So he's fucking cockroach joke man.
Okay.
That's what he is.
Okay. This is why we don't have time for this on our live stream. Phil said he's adding web shooters to your trigger words. That is true. Phil, that is a 100% fact. You will definitely never trigger Matt faster than saying web shooters. So, yes. Industry news, though, there are a couple of things I would like to bring up. One is Steve Niles, who you talk about a lot for doing the Possessed and 30 Days of Night and the Grieveling. And a friend of mine, Shannon Eric Denton, who worked on the Spider-Man. If you guys are fans of Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, he was actually the storyboard artist of it, but has been in comics a long time. They actually just launched a production company that is a monster movie production company, essentially, and they will be making all of their properties into movies and games and merchandise and stuff. So they're going to be making a lot of these indie books are now going to probably be picked up by Steve Niles and Shannon Eric Denton to be made into properties. So I'm
curious.
Really excited because these are people who have been working in the horror comic industry for a very long time, making a horror themed kind of property and really focusing on that. So it was a big announcement this week. I know it hit a lot of the big news industries, but if you comic book news industries, but if you guys missed that, keep an eye on that because that's gonna be huge. Because especially Niles has been, 30 Days of Night, Possessed, The Grieveling. That's always horror,
right?
For Steve Niles.
Nosferatu Wars,
right? And Shannon Eric Denton, he is such a great artist and such a great storyboarder that I'm just really curious to see what they come up with together. So I think that this is going to be a really good property. And we were just having a conversation about how for comic book artists and creators, it's like you can continue to make comic books forever, but you have to eventually what is your multimedia property and how do you expand it into the rest of the world? And this is such a cool thing to see that they're doing that. So keep an eye on that, guys. Steve Niles, Shannon Eric Denton doing some cool things as comic creators, bringing their worlds to other people. And also, if you have Steve Niles or Shannon Eric Denton comics, this is probably the time to start keeping those ready to go because they're probably going to start getting some high specs soon because they're going to be turning their properties into movies and things like that. So for those of you who are speculators, if you have, obviously 30 Days of Night has already been something, but some of those other Steve Niles properties, I would definitely keep an eye on them for sure.
And I would doubt that if they redid 30 Days of Night, Josh Hartnett's one that I don't like about as much as Ryan Reynolds.
I hate Josh Hartnett.
But he did a decent job because he wasn't jokey jokes. in 30 Days of Night. If they had put jokey jokes in 30 Days of Night, it would have been how I feel about most of the MCU
Okay.
movies.
First of all, what makes 30 Days of Night great is Ben Foster is a godsend among actors. I love him so much. He's so phenomenal. Ben Foster made that movie great. Josh did not do anything for that movie. Ben Foster brought down the light from heaven on his performance of greatness.
And for me, the concept made that movie.
I mean, yes. I actually
Concept
just
made
really have a problem with Just Hurting. We'll
Me
talk
too.
about that afterwards. It's completely non-related to his acting. It's actually a personal issue.
Renee said that I feel like a Spider-Man comic would be about walking to your car and getting a spider web on your face, and you spend the rest of the book trying to brush it off. And that's how I feel
That's
too.
beautiful.
And see, now if you did that and you did it serious, but the entire concept right is funny, that's how I like my humor in comics. It's like, oh, we're laughing at
Satire.
this. It's satire.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Totally satirical.
Yes. You should read Dark Interlude because they have a joke about that in there. The other thing that I would like to throw out for comic industry news, and I'm going to try to do this without crying because I'm a girl and I'm ridiculous, but there is a new show on Disney Plus called Marvel 616, and it does an extraordinary job of highlighting so many wonderful and amazing things that have happened through Marvel Comics throughout time. Everything from there's an entire episode that's about specifically more so the Latin X community and the impact on comics that the creators and the characters have had, but it also highlights other characters and creators of color. There's an episode about Japanese Spider-Man and kind of taking that over there. There's episodes about characters that are forgotten, which actually Donnie's on that episode. There's and characters that have would have why didn't they have a bigger impact and how do we bring them back into the industry and stuff. It really there's a cosplay episode which I actually have cosplay friends who are on that episode, which is strange to me to see them on this thing. But and it's such a great moment to see Disney and talk about the cosplayers who do all of this work for their characters for Marvel. Um, but episode 2 of that show is all about the women in comic books. And we actually had this conversation last night in our store, so I have to take 2 seconds at least to talk about this. But a lot of people say, I don't like women being comic book fans or being comic creators because I don't know why they suddenly showed up because they saw a Marvel movie and they think that they have a place here. And I'm going to try to do this without using profanity, which is very hard for me. But the Marvel documentary does a much better job than I will. And it's called, the episode's called Higher, Further, Faster in respect to Carol Danvers. But if you didn't know, women have actually been a part of comic books as long as comic books have existed. In the 1940s, there were actually almost as many women as there were men working for Timely that became Marvel and working in the comic book industry. And then the Comics Code Authority removed women from comics on all fronts, essentially, both working in it and their titles. Um, and then they came back in the 60s and the 70s with a vengeance. And if you are an X-Men fan and you think women don't belong in comics, you don't deserve to read X-Men ever again in your entire life because Louise Simonson created and edited and made the magic that is your X-Men comics, and you don't deserve X-Men if you don't think women belong in comics. So don't ever buy an X-Men comic ever again if you don't think women belong there because Louise Simonson made it what it is. And then Ann Nesenti to follow up with that. So I'm gonna throw that out there right now. But also some of your most machismo men characters were created by women at Marvel doing all of this work. So if you don't think that women belong there, you're wrong. And the conversation we had last night, somebody was talking about how like growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was like there weren't any women, and then all of a sudden there were. Well, this Marvel documentary does a really great thing where it points out that when the 80s hit, that's when the comic book store became a thing, and that distribution was not at grocery stores, it was not at convenience stores, it was not at pharmacies, it was just at comic book stores. That was a thing all of a sudden, that comics were only direct distributed to comic book stores and you couldn't get them anywhere else. And comic book stores didn't want women in there. They didn't want titles. Millie the Model, not there. Like, oh my god, I'm so glad we sold out of Millie the Model. They even reference that in the book, or in the documentary. I'm so glad we bought one copy of Millie and it sold. Now we don't have to do it again. And it's true. As somebody who grew up in the 80s and 90s, I was not welcome in comic book stores. That does not mean that I did not read comics in the 80s and 90s. And I know Sai is commenting on this too right now, and she definitely feels, has similar experiences where you were not, we were not welcome in those stores necessarily, but that doesn't mean we weren't reading the same things. And guys now say, oh, well, a lot of guys, not most of you watching this, but a lot of guys will say, well, women are suddenly forcing their way at the table and they didn't want to be a part of it in the 80s and 90s. And it's like, no, we actually did. But when we showed up to the restaurant to sit at the table, you told us that we had to eat out back. So we built our own table. And our table is now full of people who are happy and fun and having a great time and loving all of this stuff, and who edited your X-Men and created some of your favorite freaking characters of all time, and who drew, like Mary Severin and all of these people who drew all of these amazing characters. And we did all of this stuff, and we were sitting out here celebrating, having our own time, enjoying our freaking milkshakes that you people out there say we're ruining comics because we like. We're having milkshakes out at our own table, and now our table is more of a party than yours, and you're mad because our table has just as many people at it, which it did in the first place. In 1940s, the readership was half and half. Guess what? We're in 2020, and we are a stronger demographic than male readers of comics. There are more women buying comics on a regular basis than there are men, and more female identifying people buying comic books than men on a regular basis. I'm sorry that our table is better decorated and having more fun than yours, but it exists. It's been existing the entire time since 1940s. You've tried to keep us out legally. You've tried to keep us out with your comic book store creation and the distribution and the idea that superheroes aren't for girls, and you stop making action figures for us, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but females are not going to stop creating your comic books, editing your comic books, drawing your comic books, and they're sure as hell never going to stop reading them. So if you think that that is not a thing that exists or should exist, watch Marvel 616 on Disney Plus, episode 2, Higher, Further, Faster, and listen to the women who have been making all of the comic books that you've ever read in your entire freaking life tell you how wrong you are to think that women don't belong there, because Joe Duffy is a woman, and she did all of the great stories of Power Man and Iron Fist that you love from the 80s and 90s. Like, sorry to burst your bubble, Wheezy, like Louise Simonson, killed your X-Men. She literally, actually, because we did have the Death of Phoenix in there, and Nacinti. All of these women, they have been working so hard, and there is this, all of the women who've come since then, like Kelly Sue DeConnick and Kelly Thompson, and just all of them. I mean, to hear Sana talk about being the inspiration for Miss Marvel, I can't make it through that documentary without crying. I can't almost make it through that talking about that documentary without crying.
And the fact that anybody thinks that anybody doesn't belong in anything is a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. You need to fuck the fuck right off. That's my get fucked for the week. Get fucked and die for the week. If you don't think that these people fucking belong here, anybody who has opposable thumbs and can speak a language can create something. And if you say, oh, well, that person is X and they're not allowed here, that's how we get the X-Men. That's who the X-Men are. That is the fucking people. As all these people, we can all come together. We are all something. We're able to create something amazing. It doesn't matter who you are. And get fucked if you think that, oh, because this person is so and so, they don't belong here. Get fucked if you think that, oh, I got into comic books 4 months ago and I wrote the greatest comic of all time. No, it can't be because that person got into comics 4 months ago. Fuck you. Get fucked. Because no matter what, it doesn't matter where you come in. It doesn't matter what stage you're at. It doesn't matter who you are, what race, color, creed, fucking religion, gender. I don't fucking care. If you're making greatness, you're making greatness. Yes.
And
that is all that matters. That's what it comes down to.
Sana talks about that in the documentary, that she didn't have comic book experience when she became a comic editor, and when she went to work for Marvel, she said the biggest fear that she had was that they were going to tell her that she didn't deserve to be there because she couldn't tell you the entire history of every Marvel character in the history of time, and as a female, like, that meant that she didn't know enough about comics.
And as an editor, a lot of times they have to say, hey, look at volume 1, this issue, you know, like, that's a big thing for an editor then.
And you spend so much time research, and that's the thing, is you see her even in the documentary going back and pulling issues and reading them and making sure she's getting it right. And it's like, just because you didn't come from that path, like, we have a lot of people who say, well, I don't like that people saw this movie and they got into comics. And I'm like, I love that people saw that movie and they got into comics.
Absolutely.
That's why they make the movies, is so people get into comics.
That's why we're having a boom in comics right now. It's because there's so many movies and people have, exactly. People have seen them. People are excited about them. And then they say, okay, where are the roots? Now I want to learn. Absolutely. That's what Bat City Con Professionals is. This is an educational thing that not only creates scholarships and curriculums for kids, but also educates a community on how cool comics are, what the stories are. That's why there is a $1 book club. $1 book club is not for you to show up and talk about what you know. That's great too, but $1 book club is for you to come and learn about comics. That's what it's there for. And to learn new things and to hear new insights. There have been so many times that I've known a book and loved a book, and then we do it as a book club, and people are like, dude, did you see this thing in the background?
And you're like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I haven't. I've been reading this comic for 10 years, and I have never noticed that. That's amazing. I want that experience. Why can't all of these people want that experience? Why can't they want new people coming into the thing and telling them things that they don't know? That is awesome. Tell me things I don't know. That's freaking great. We should all feel that way. And it doesn't matter who you are, you know, as you're a human. You know? Now, if my cat came in and told me some shit about some comics that I didn't know, I'd be pretty fucking...
I mean, I'd be impressed.
Right. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about cows in my medium.
I mean, if my cat
or
came in
squirrel
and said
monkeys.
If our cat came in and said something, I'd be pretty impressed because she learned to talk.
Right,
so
exactly. How the fuck did you learn to talk?
Yeah.
We have bigger things to talk about than comics right now.
Although she does live at a comic book store, she probably doesn't have anything else to talk about.
Right, it's
but
true.
It's such a thing that it's I love Marvel and Disney Plus for creating this. And one of our subscribers and I were talking this weekend about who do you think has the bigger level of diversity? And I said throughout time it's kind of gone in waves between the big two. Like, obviously the indies are always doing a better job of that, and web comics and things like that. But right now, Marvel, because of Disney Plus and because of even the comics, right now Marvel is like, hey, we're accepting the own voices conversation, and we want to be a part of this, and we want to do what we can, because that was a huge thing in literature, to give people who represent that category the ability to actually talk about it. Like, yes, it's important to have characters that are female or LGBTQIA or people of color or anything in your stories, but it means even more when somebody who is female or LGBTQIA or a person of color actually tells that story. Because there is a difference between what a straight white man thinks that feels like and what somebody that falls into one of those minorities actually knows it is.
100%.
And Marvel is accepting that and is letting those people tell those stories, and they're giving people that opportunity to tell the stories of their own. I mean, that's what the whole point of Indigenous Voices is we've had all of these characters forever, but what if somebody who actually came from that tribe told that story? What if somebody who understood what it's like, even Werewolf by Night right now, having Taboo and Vireji on that title, is like, what if we actually gave Native Americans the chance to tell the story about being Native American right now in America and also having to have superpowers?
Absolutely.
And it's such a beautiful thing, and that the show has multiple episodes that just hits that from different points. As a female, obviously for me, I cried my way through it. I have not watched the other episodes. I have a feeling that the one that highlights Latinx people will also and people of color will also make me cry, because there's that point in the female one where Nala talks about being how she drew all of her characters as white until her parents pointed out to her that like she draws her characters as white being a black woman. And she says she talked to all of her other black artist friends and they all do the same thing. And why is it that when they draw characters and when they imagine their worlds they still see the characters as white? And I started crying when she talked about that, and I might cry right now because it's just like, how sad is that? That even in their own mind space, they've been so whitewashed by society that they think like an only way to imagine a fictional world featuring a character that I love, the character has to be white.
Right, and that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
And,
right, we're all humans.
right.
We're all fucking. You can draw them however the fuck you want to draw them, and if you want to draw them as a raccoon,
Right.
draw them as a fucking raccoon. It does not fucking matter. We are here for comics. We are here for people's stories, and read the comic that speaks to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like that, don't fucking read it. It's not made for you.
And at the same time, if a comic, you think a comic is not made for you, maybe actually pick it up and learn about somebody else's life.
That's true too.
Because it's time that we start taking a step out of our comfort zone and learning about somebody's life in this world. And comics are such an incredible way to do that. And we talk about that in book club. We talk about it on this live stream. It's a chance to learn about the view outside someone else's window. And to when you look out your window, you might see sunshine and rainbows, but somebody else is living in sunshine in rainstorms, and somebody else has snow, and somebody you're living in a tower on top of a beautiful world, and somebody else is living in the depths of despair and has all of the the worst of everything that could happen like outside their window. There's so many different things that you can experience just looking outside your window, but the person next to you has a completely different view because their window is not the same, and comics give you that.
We've got 125 comics on our wall. Who knows which one's going to be your next favorite? And it's not necessarily going to be the one that you identify with. It's just all of a sudden something is going to grab you. There are 125 comics, and there is a couch, and we welcome you to come by and sit down there and try them out.
Yeah. Please do.
Please do. That's what this is for. We're never going to yell at you.
Right.
This isn't the chess magazine in Queen's Gambit. You know,
right.
Comic or magazines are for buying. If you want to buy it or if you want to read it, buy it. That's not the thing here. Come here, read the thing, see if you like it. And if you do and you really do enjoy it, please, we encourage you to buy it. But at the same time, we'd rather you read and get that view that's not outside your window.
Yes, please do. And then if you need help doing that, watch the documentaries from Marvel 616 on Disney Plus. If you don't have Disney Plus and you want to watch it, come to the shop and tell us, I would like to see that documentary, and we will gladly play it for you in the building. I've already played it at least once this weekend.
Absolutely. And there's two separate feeds here. You can sit at the counter. You can sit in the new comic book room on the 72-inch TV that's in HD and watch that.
Right. If you watch it at the counter and I watch it with you, you will have to bring me tissues because I will cry again.
During all of the episodes.
Yes, probably.
Also, comic industry news. Happy Thanksgiving. We're closed on Thursday and Friday. Here's a giveaway right now. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. We're going to give this away.
This is cool. This is Batman number 93, 94, and 95. 3 Batman issues that are brand new. We're on issue
103. We
103.
just showed it today.
I forgot if it was 110 or 123 or 103. It's 103. Well, this is 93 through 95, and we're giving all 3 of these brand new issues away.
Yes, and all you have to tell us is which member of the Legion of Superheroes is from a planet colonized by American Indians, and what issue did they first appear in? I say all, you have to tell me like that was super easy. To repeat that question, which member of the Legion of Superheroes is from a planet colonized by American Indians, and what issue did they first appear in? I really like to say Native Americans more than American Indians, but that's the way that the question was worded when I stole it from somebody else. I would have said Native Americans, but for the reference point, just in case it is specific to the question when you look it up.
Right.
I did not write that question. But yeah, you get those books if you know that answer. What member of the Legion of Superheroes is from a planet colonized by Native Americans, and what issue did they first appear in? You get that. While we're waiting, I guess we could tell them we're closed on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna be closed Thursday and Friday. Obviously, we're closed on Thanksgiving because
Obviously.
everywhere is closed on
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
congratulations to Walmart for closing on Thanksgiving
Yeah,
Friday.
absolutely. And indigenous peoples, sorry that we slaughtered you because it's terrible.
My family came on the Mayflower, so I'm exceptionally sorry.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
First Nations. Right.
We're close, Renee, but not quite on the issue number. I know you won't look it up, so
Yeah, we are going to be closed on Black Friday. You guys can go to your Targets and go to your Walmarts and do whatever you want to do on Black Friday. We are going to be here on Small Business Saturday.
yes, if you go to your Targets and Walmarts on Black Friday, please wear a mask and social distance from other people.
Oh my God, please.
Please do that anyway.
Right,
Yes.
do that anyway. Masks are cool. There are a lot of really super comfortable masks out there. I wear my mask a lot of the time that there's nobody around just because I enjoy wearing my mask. It's a cool accessory. It feels nice on my skin and it matches my hat and my t-shirt really well.
He does spend a lot of time in the morning making sure his mask is going to match his hat and his
Fuck
t-shirt.
yeah, fuck yeah. We have an extra accessory here that we are allowed to play with and coordinate colors. This is fantastic. That said, that said, go out, do whatever you have to do on Friday. We're not going to be here. We are going to have a sale on Saturday, and all $2 issues and $1 issues are going to be buy one get one free, and we're going to have half off 50-cent issues.
Yeah, and I'm going to repeat the question because nobody else has guessed since Renee, but which member of the Legion of Superheroes is from a planet colonized by Native Americans, and what issue did they first appear in? Other things while y'all are doing that is we did give away our scholarship for 2020, and we have failed to announce that yet this week, but we meant to announce that. Very, very thankful for all of your continued support. The scholarship fund does come from money that is spent here in the store. And is selected by not us. We like to find people who are librarians and teachers, professors, whatever. And so if you'd like to be on our scholarship committee for next year,
226.
You can definitely be a part of that. Yes, Renee, this is going to you. Um, but if you want to be on our scholarship committee next year, you can definitely be a part of that. It's if you're a librarian, a teacher, a professor, anybody in the education spectrum, you are welcome to do that. We give away as many scholarships as we can based off of how many sales we have in the store. This year, of course, COVID shut down comics for almost 3 full months, so we were only able to give away one scholarship, but we are very thankful for the fact that your continued support allowed us to do that. And the scholarship committee actually chose Anthony Ward Simmons, who is going to school here in Austin for English literature and sign language, American Sign Language. I know he is studying
Right.
that as well. But Anthony is a screenplay writer and I believe a aspiring novelist as well.
Yes.
And so he's going to school to get an English degree to further his studies in screenplay and novel writing. And so congratulations, Anthony.
Congrats!
Very excited for you. Right, poppers.
Yeah, little party poppers.
Right. But congratulations, Anthony, and I can't wait to read more of your work. I hope that we get to see that. I know Anthony in the past has entered many of the Austin film festivals and things like that with his scripts and has had some some success and some interest and stuff in the work that he's done. So I'm happy to see that he's pursuing a degree to continue that process. We'll be posting a picture so you guys can all congratulate Anthony for that. But if you are pursuing a degree in arts or literacy, please keep an eye out. We usually pin it to the top of our Facebook page once our scholarship announcement and application process becomes available. So if you know somebody who is pursuing a degree in those at a 4-year, 2-year, or technical school, it does not matter. You can definitely recommend that they fill out the application for our scholarship, and we pick at least one every year. And depending on whether or not a global pandemic shuts down comics, we hope to give more every year.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, congratulations.
yes, congratulations, Anthony, and congratulations, Renee. Yes, it was Dawn Star who appeared in Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, or just Legion of Superheroes, however you want to call it, 226 in April of 1977.
Absolutely. Which is super cool. Thanks for playing along tonight, guys. Again, we're doing Storm and Ileana Magic #1 tomorrow night for book club. Please join us and yeah, talk about the origin of magic with us, which is going
Yeah,
to be super cool. The origin of all magic.
all of it.
All of
I
it.
do love that X Swords joke about that.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. When I said we are going to be done in 10 minutes, it has been 70 minutes. Sorry about that. But
It was after 11 when you said it.
No, it was 10 to 11.
Oh, well, you know, whatever.
It's 10 to 11. We have to go make dinner and watch The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
So have a great week. Thanks again for watching along with us, and we will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat place.
And happy Thanksgiving. We are most thankful for each and every one of you and the support you continue to give Bat City Comics. Thank you again, 100% from the bottom of our hearts for all of the stuff that you do. Thank you for your help in shop. Thank you for your support by buying your comics and for your continual friendship. We love each and every one of you. So enjoy your holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.